I don't even know where that fucking saying came from.
The only time I've ever heard it was on Scrooged, and he was like, "I'm back. You thought I was crazy, like a fox." That's the only
Is that
part
the
I
musical?
No,
the one with
Bill Murray.
Oh.
I've heard it before several times, and I'm crazy like a fox. Like fox.
Maybe
fox
it's because
isn't really.
foxes are like,
I mean, I guess
smart, but they're wild, man.
they're wild. I guess they are kind of crazy.
Yeah.
They're all over the place.
You don't want to mess with
almost
a
like
fox.
they have no attention
I think
span.
that's the point, is that you
Kinda
don't want to
like a
mess with a
squirrel.
fox.
That's
so
true.
it's like,
because they're scrappy.
yeah, they'll fuck you up, man.
So
Yeah.
they're like big squirrels.
They're squirrels with muscle, yeah.
They're more like small wolves.
Yeah.
They're more like that. Only
Yeah.
because they're hunters.
But they act like cats?
Only because they're small enough to act like a cat.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that I wouldn't call their behavior cat-like, honestly.
They kind of
More-
remind me of cats sometimes in Minecraft.
In Minecraft. Yes, that's a good representation of how foxes
Perfect.
really act.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, welcome back. We are the Bonsai Movie Crew, of course. Don't forget to check out them socials down there in that description and all that good stuff. Come follow us, like us, all that good shit. So I didn't do any internet this week, but I was going to. And then I know it sounds like a terrible excuse, but then
I was gonna do it.
I was gonna do it, but then I did the movie plot, and I was like, "Holy shit, this thing! It's long."
Okay.
So I'm like, "We're not gonna have time for internet."
Okay.
Because I was gonna do some coverage shit on the inauguration and all that good shit, but I didn't.
I think enough people probably watched it, so
I watched it while I listened to it at work.
I watched it up until, I don't know, I think it was like right after Biden gave his farewell, and let's be real, there was only one reason I was watching that. So.
I listened
Trip.
all the way up through Trump's speech after he
said
got
that?
sworn in.
Okay.
So I listened to all that and everything he said he's still going to do. The only thing I didn't hear about was the overtime stuff that he talked about doing, with no taxes on overtime and no taxes on tips.
I think that's part of the tax code, because he did talk about the tax code being
Did he?
revised.
Okay. I think it's fair, man. I don't think that I should have to pay all the taxes that I got to pay
I
on
hope they start
overtime.
giving me
No
overtime.
shit. That should be
Yeah.
our money.
And the funny part is I thought about like, this doesn't really affect your employer either. Either way, they're paying that money out.
Yeah.
It doesn't affect them in any way. So that actually, it would encourage them to want to hand out overtime to people, because people will be more prone to take overtime.
Mhm.
Hell, fucking give it to me, dude. Like, you want to give me fucking this X amount tax free, I'm good with that.
I'd like to
So-
stop paying federal taxes. That'd be cool.
Wink, wink. Hey, Trump, you listening? Give us a pass, please. Yeah. So anyway, it's great having a new president. That's for sure. He's already signing shit away.
But
all of Biden's bullshit.
We're gonna regret it, remember?
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
That's what Kimmel said.
Kimmel can suck a fat fucking cock.
Probably does.
He probably
Yeah.
does. You're probably
As a
right.
pastime.
Or I've been
Yeah.
seeing all the executive orders that he's been signing off.
Huh?
Or he's been seeing all those executive orders he's been signing off.
Uh-huh. I've watched. I
The
was
only-
watching it earlier.
The one thing that
And he was showing him like this, like, mm-hmm,
Yeah.
mm-hmm. What's up? And then he even said, Biden wouldn't do that.
Oh, yeah.
That's what he was saying.
Did you see the one thing I did see that cracked me up, and it was mostly because Alex been sending me stuff, and like it was when they went into a church. I think it was part of the inauguration, but I must not have seen this part. But they were in a church, and this pastor was up there basically berating him about the LGBTQ stuff and about the immigration, like the mass deportations and stuff. And she was like, people are scared now, and you need to have compassion and all this good stuff, right? Dude. Okay, so Trump's face was just about how you'd figure, like he was amazing. Like he was just listening. And every now and again she'd say something and he'd be like, that was it. That was the only expression you got out of him. Vance, that man can't keep a secret with his face.
No.
Because he was like sitting there and he was like, it was so
I love JD
I do
Vance. He's
too.
really growing on me, man.
I do too.
I really like that dude. He's that guy that's like,
Yeah,
Bitch.
she was running her mouth about this, that, and the other, and about how, because he said in his speech that there's only two genders,
Mhm,
and
yeah.
she was on about that, saying like, there's trans people in Democrat households.
So he said. So he
and
said, from starting today, there's only two genders,
Yeah.
male and female.
yeah, and she was like, well, there are trans people in Democrat households and in Republican households, and that was when you seen Vance go. Like, it was so funny, dude. That was probably the fun. And then that one I posted to the Discord, those were the highlights for me. George
I love
W.
it,
Bush
man.
with the edible.
Biden signing all them pardons right before he.
Oh yeah, of his family. That's not weird.
His family, the
He pardoned his
January,
basically his entire family back to 2014.
the January 6th committee, the Fauci.
Of course he did.
Yeah.
But you know what, though? Good for him, man.
Yeah,
One last hurrah before he gets out of office.
And-
I'm not gonna lie. If it was me, I'm a crooked motherfucker. This is why I ain't president. I would, if my kids were like in legal trouble, I'd pardon every one of them. Let's face it, we would all do it. What's
I
he got
wouldn't.
to fucking lose?
I wouldn't.
You wouldn't do it?
Nope.
I would. I would.
Fuck around and find out.
I'm just
That's
saying.
what I told him.
I would
You
pardon my
screwed up.
kids.
That's
Yeah,
on
I
you.
get it. But it's my last, like, let's face it, Biden's got like a
The
few
only
years
way
left.
it would be a pardon for me is if it was like something where they were never going to see the light of day again. Unless it was a murder or something like that. But
Right.
if they were like just after them because they were my kid,
That's what I'm saying. Like, not murder. That's ridiculous. I would pardon them. for
no.
that.
if they
Whatever-
really,
no,
but if
hold
they
on now,
really
hold on
did,
now. Whenever we talked about this, I said, "What if he murders someone?" And you were like, "I don't care. I don't care."
I'm just saying that, like,
I don't know,
from
I'm
my
not there,
perspective,
so.
if they did something wrong, they need to pay the penalty. Now, if they're going to give them a really harsh penalty just because they're my kid, yeah, I'm going to step in. But, like if they jaywalking, life in prison. No.
No?
No, that's not a thing. You know what I mean? Like that kind of
Right.
thing. But no, if they did something wrong and they deserved the punishment.
I don't know, man. I'm just glad that he's out of there, and I'm glad Trump's in there, and I'm glad shit's gonna start getting done. I already said this is gonna be a very interesting 4 years.
Oh, yeah.
So not even just because he's in there, but all the shit that there's planned. There's a lot of shit going down.
I
And
let guys know how it goes in the military.
he's
too.
already announced it's gonna be the Gulf of America, not the Gulf of Mexico. And I'm like, I don't know if you're gonna succeed on that, but we'll
Yeah.
see. Whatever you want to do,
No,
man.
I mean, I feel like that's a very small thing considered
Yeah, I'm not really
everything
worried
else
about
that we have going on. I really don't care about the name of something.
I don't either, but I'm just saying. Like,
No, I get it. I get the sentiment. I understand why, but like, I just feel like there's more pressing matters.
Yeah, I'm
Right.
not. Yeah,
How do you guys feel about TikTok only being banned for 14 hours?
I feel like they were justified in what they did.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're gonna tell me that you trust Biden when he says he's not gonna uphold it,
Uphold what?
the law that they put into place, when he said, "Oh, anybody who hosts TikTok in any way, shape, or form will fine you, and that's per user." And then they go, we're not going to do anything about it if you do. So TikTok took it into their own hands and said, we're going dark until we have a guarantee from somebody, like in writing,
Mm-hmm.
that nothing's going to happen. So then Trump put out a tweet or whatever and said, I'm not going to hold anybody accountable. They threw it back at me. And then guess what? It came back up live. The timing is not weird. They did everything that they should have done.
Right.
Yeah, because the guy who runs TikTok, he's like, what is he, Indonesian or something?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see
Yeah,
those
he's-
videos?
Yeah, and he's up there talking about like, have you ever been a part of the Communist Party? He's like,
No,
I'm
Mr.
Indonesian.
Executive.
Singaporean.
or Singaporean. He's like, I'm
yeah.
Singaporean. He's like, have you ever been a part of the Chinese government? I'm Singaporean. Like, he's
Yeah.
just like,
Those were
dude,
so
Do you
funny.
speak
I love
Chinese?
it.
I'm
No, sir, I'm from
Singaporean.
Singapore. And then he's like, well, what do you speak? Mandarin? Ah!
Yeah.
No,
Motherfucker.
what?
They speak English in England. Are you going to tell me that I'm English?
So he kept saying, I'm Singaporean. And he kept saying that, and the guy kept asking him the same stupid questions. He's like,
It's because you've got all
I'm
these
Singaporean.
you've
Like,
got these old motherfuckers, including that senator. I don't care if he's only like 40 something.
No,
He's
Mr.
playing a
Senator.
game. But
Yeah.
all these old motherfuckers that don't understand technology. Did you hear some of the questions they were asking?
yeah.
there?
What
Like,
would
if you
this
wear
do if
headphones,
connected to your
can it read
Wi-Fi?
your mind?
Oh yeah.
I
Can
loved
this
that one. That
can
one
this
was great.
intercept Wi-Fi? Blah blah blah. He's
yeah.
like, you mean if
yeah.
it connects to the internet? I mean,
Yeah,
you
he's
have
like,
to
so
have.
if it,
You're like,
uses, if it uses someone else's Wi-Fi, then it's connected to all of their Wi-Fi. Yes,
Yes.
that's generally
That's how it works. Yeah.
things work when they're connected to Wi-Fi.
Just some stupid fucking questions. I'm like watching
That's
this. I'm
why
like,
those people need to shut the fuck up when it comes to technology stuff. Oh my god, shut up! And they went after Zuckerberg too, and they let his ass go.
Mhm.
Excuse the fuck out of me. So who's paying who? Who's
Zuckerberg's
sucking
a
whose
skeevy
dick? Come
fucker,
on.
man.
Huh?
Congress needs to have
Zuckerberg,
term
he's
limits.
he's a skeevy fucker, man.
Yeah, he is. They need to have term limits. I agree.
Skibbity.
Like there
Yeah,
should be
he's a
term
skibbity
limits for
fucker.
everything. If you got term limits for the president, there should be term limits for every goddamn thing
For
you
the
do
Congress, for
in
the
politics. Because you should not be able to be a career politician and make $1 billion by the time you're 40.
No.
Yeah. Anyway, well, I guess we covered internet stuff anyway.
There it
Sorry.
Uh,
We go on a rant.
Yeah.
yeah.
Especially
Alec will be happy
politics.
to know that we've been watching WWE Raw.
Oh yeah, he will.
We don't watch it on Mondays. We let it play and then we like today we started watching last night's episode.
hmm
So we'll watch it throughout the week because I'm not going to sit down and watch a 2 or 3 hour episode of Raw every
Oh,
just at
no,
once every
I-
week. I'm not doing all that. I can watch it. I watch each match. I watch a match a day or something like that. Like it's fun. Jackson's getting into it. We like that Jey Uso.
I just like the drama.
We like the drama too. Yeah, that's another thing. It's
Understand.
entertaining.
I get it.
It's entertaining.
Some big black chick beat the crap out of Rhea Ripley.
Didn't beat. Well, yeah,
I'm sure
she did.
she'll be
she
all
bottomed
right.
her out pretty good. I'm sure she will be too.
She was like walking and she smiled, and all of a sudden you see her get tackled off the camera. I'm like, oh! Okay.
It's wrestling.
I haven't watched it in so long.
Was
I
that
don't
chick
know
a
who
wrestler,
these
or was
people
she
are.
just
Yeah,
some
she's a
random-
wrestler.
Oh, I
Yeah,
thought she was
she's a
just some
wrestler.
random chick.
No,
That would
hell
have been
no.
funny.
That would be funny. Like, let's go. I can take
Some
you.
random bitch out of the crowd, like mother.
Amnesia John.
That'd be fucking hilarious. And then Ray.
I don't know
Ripley
who
just
I
get up
am.
and knock the shit out of somebody. Now it's real wrestling, bitch.
Didn't
I like
rehearse
that.
this one now, did we?
Right? Oh, hold on. I got one for it. Where's that?
Bitch is hardcore.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, let's move on. All right. Yeah.
Why do groups like that?
I don't know. I went through and we got all our bumps back though.
Did you get any new ones?
No, not yet. No, I do need to go through
How'd
them.
you
though.
get them back
They were already on here. They just needed added, I guess. I don't know.
to the file?
Yeah. Anyway, can anybody guess who we're doing this week?
Charlie Day! Charlie Day! We're doing
Charlie
Charlie Day. We're doing Charlie Day.
You guys didn't even give me a chance, man.
You asked. I said
Yeah.
Charlie Hunman
We
first.
gave you
though.
enough time to ask the question.
Madison probably saw me doing
he
the
looks
fucking
like a
picture.
baby.
Yeah, but I
in
knew
that
yesterday
picture.
that
He's a
pick up.
handsome motherfucker. Whenever he's still kind of handsome, but like he looked like a
I
fucking
still think
model.
he's handsome.
Yeah.
Yeah. He just looks like a baby.
He does look like a baby.
I love Charlie Day. I don't care.
I do
Well,
too.
yeah.
It's always sunny, dude.
Yeah. Oh,
just-
yeah.
He's the funniest part of that whole fucking show.
Every time I
all
hear
the
that
day.
song "Freedom," did you see the one where they had their?
Are
high
you
school
eating
reunion?
paint?
I think we did.
Nah,
Did we?
what season would it have been?
I don't remember. I just remember.
I'm
the,
on season 12
that song
right now.
"Freedom"
I feel like
by
you've asked us that before.
George Michael. Every time I hear that song, I laugh now.
I don't think I've seen it. I don't think we watched that one. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh
You
man.
guys, I can't even make movie references to my friends. Like I said, hey you guys, while we were skating, and like they all looked at me like I was actually mental.
I'm the
Well,
same
you
way though.
can't talk about that movie anyway because it's like what sex stuff.
I would literally kill myself. Charlie Day.
I didn't
early-
say it. Your teacher did.
Yeah, but you brought it back up. All right, where are the razors?
The rope. You need some rope.
No, I'd rather just bleed out. Anyways,
so like over the top with this.
Charlie Peckham.
What the fuck?
Peckham Day.
Okay, we got a lot to get through, so come on.
Was born in New York City, New York, on February 9th, 1976. His family lived in the Riverdale section of the Bronx. He spent most of his childhood in Middletown.
Do we need somebody else to read this?
He's a younger child of 2 with an older sister named Alice. His mother, Mary, was a piano
Give me the
teacher.
fucking thing. Then let's go.
No, his mother's maiden name was Peckham.
So that's not his middle name?
It's his middle name, but it was his mother's his mother's maiden name.
Okay.
It's really not as funny as you're making it out to be, though.
Peckham, Dad. It's hilarious. Was a piano teacher at the... You guys, never mind, I'll tell you later. Was a piano teacher at the Penfield School in Portsmouth, Rhode Island, and his father, Dr. Thomas Charles Day, is a retired professor of music history at Salve Regina University in Newport, Rhode Island. Day attended Penfield School and graduated from the Portsmouth Abbey School, both in Portsmouth, Rhode Island. He attended Merrimack College in North Andover,
Massachusetts.
Thank you. Majoring in art history in 1998. In May 2014, Day gave the commencement speech for the Merrimack College's graduating class and received an honorary PhD. After graduating, Day worked on small television roles and doing voiceovers for the Independent Film Channel, and supplemented his income by waiting tables and answering phones for a telethon. At Merrimack, he was active in the Onstagers Merrimack Student Theater Organization career. Day at the 2010 Comic-Con in San Diego. During the summers of his college years, Day was active in the training programs at Williamstown Theater Festival and went on to play the lead role in Dead End at the Huntington Theater in Boston. Besides playing Charlie Kelly on the hit FX television show. His last name's Kelly?
Yeah.
Charlie Kelly?
Uh-huh.
Why is that actually kind of a cool name? Charlie Kelly.
I don't know. It's
I
supposed
like
to
it.
be Irish.
It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. He is also one of the show's executive producers and one of its writers, along with Rob McElhenney. Sure.
You know who he kind of looks like as a younger
Lynn
one?
Harrington.
He looks like Sid Vicious. Like from the Sex Pistols.
Yeah, I think
Looks like
that's
Sid.
the hair,
It's definitely the hair, yeah.
but I don't see it in the face.
You don't see it in the face? I do a little bit.
Maybe the eyes.
And the eyes, yeah. The eyes and the eyebrows, forehead. Maybe not so much the mouth, but and jawline. But yeah. He could have played Sid Vicious as a younger one, you know.
I don't know who they're talking about, so I can't tell.
Sex Pistols, he's like a big troublemaker.
What? He was?
Him and his
I don't
old
even know
lady
what the movie
Nancy,
is.
they were like toxic as fuck for each other.
Very.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
They were no, just keep reading.
What's his face played him in the movie, but he did a really
Oh.
the one that can play anyone. He's probably you right now.
He's
You don't even
probably
know.
me right now. He doesn't even know his own name.
Yeah. Fuck.
Oh.
You ever see that
He is
basketball thing you did?
What the fuck is his name?
Yeah, I know.
We're stupid. We're terrible at our jobs
Yeah.
because we know this person. We talk about him all
Uh-huh.
the time, and we love him. And
Gary Oldman.
Gary Oldman, that's him. That's the guy. That's me. I'm
He'd
the
be all
dude
of
playing the
us.
dude dressed like another dude.
He could play. He could be all of us. We wouldn't know.
Yeah, he's playing all of us right now.
Mhm.
Also, while operating the camera.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Anyways. He is also one of the shows. He has also appeared on several other television shows, such as The Third Watch, Law and Order, and Reno 911. He starred in New Line Cinema's Horrible Bosses in July 2011 with Jason Bateman, a bunch of other people, and Jamie Foxx. Alright, he also had a role in the 2010 film Going the Distance alongside Justin Long, a bunch of other people, and Drew Barrymore. In 2013, he voiced the character Art in the Pixar animated film Monsters University. And wait, who was Art in Monsters University?
I don't know. I didn't watch it.
I only watched it once.
Mom used to make us watch it all the time whenever we were kids, and I didn't really like it until I got older.
You'd know if you watched it because his voice is pretty
I know.
recognizable.
Yep.
I know. I haven't watched a movie in ages though. I don't think I've seen it.
I don't know why he
since I
doesn't
lived
do
with Mom.
more voiceover work. Honestly, he's done it a couple
He's
times.
good
but-
at it. Because every time you hear him, you know it's him.
Yeah, like that's why. I mean, he played Luigi in
Yeah.
the Mario Brothers.
As soon as he started talking, I was like,
he was
"Is
a
that
great Luigi. I loved him as
Charlie?"
Luigi. He was awesome.
Yeah, his voice fit Luigi
Mhm.
perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
In 2017, Day starred in Fist Fight with Ice Cube. Oh, I
Mhm.
want to watch that movie
That-
again so
that
bad.
was-
Can
movie's
we add that to
awesome.
the box?
I actually was going to tell you to add that to the box.
Okay.
It is such a good movie.
It's a
oh
great
my
movie.
goodness.
It's actually one of my favorites of his.
Yeah, with Ice Cube. In it, Day plays as Andy Campbell, a high school English teacher, challenged by his co-worker, history teacher Ronald Strickland, which Ice Cube played him, to a fight after getting him fired. In 2018, he reprised his role for the Pacific Rim sequel, Pacific Rim Uprising, and had a role in Drew Pearce's film Hotel Artemis.
Mm-hmm.
With a bunch of people and Jenny Slate.
A bunch of people and Jenny Slate. Jenny Slate's awesome.
Okay.
She's funny. She used to be. She was date. She dated.
Be suspicious.
She dated Chris Evans for a long time. Captain America.
She did him?
She dated him.
Oh.
I'm sure,
I'm sure they
a couple
did
of
him.
times.
Yeah, I'm sure she did him. She used to
I
get.
heard she
well,
did
she used.
him.
She used to get a bunch
was
of
like-
like criticism for like because people would tell her like she wasn't attractive enough to be with Chris Evans,
That's not up
and
to
Chris
them.
Evans was like, she's amazing. She's an amazing person, and this and that.
Yeah,
would
like
always
the-
like have her back.
Yeah, like,
And I guess
gives a shit.
yeah, they ended up splitting up, and a lot of people speculate that it was because of the criticism that she got, and not because she still like goes on and says that like Chris is like the greatest guy in the world. So I'm assuming that it wasn't because of him. So, but like,
More so maybe it got to her.
yeah, because she's a stand-up comedian and stuff, and I don't think she's ugly by any means. So,
I
actually,
think
find
a sense of humor automatically makes you like, I don't know, a 7. Then you got to fill in the rest.
that's what I'm saying. Like her as a person, she seems like a really cool person. So.
Yeah.
That and I find her strangely attractive.
Okay.
It's the sense of humor.
I think that's definitely what it is. And the hair.
Who?
Jenny Slate, she was on Parks and Rec primarily, is what most people know her from.
She was also in a show with another person. I can't remember her name, but it was the two girls.
One
and-
cup.
No. Ooh. But she's done a couple movies. She's done a lot of stand-up, though. She's
She
funny.
the one, so Parks and Rec, she's the one that was dating,
No, she was the twin sister of the guy who voices Sonic. God, I suck at names tonight.
Oh, yeah. Fuck, I can't remember his name.
Thomas
Dude, I love that guy. He has
Brandon.
got to be one of my favorite.
Oh, he's one of the
Carl.
best coming up, or best people.
Did you ever watch
Fuck.
Space Force?
No.
He was in
Brett.
that. One of the funniest things was when Steve Carell was mad at him, and he's like, I want to see you, and he comes in and he's like, yes, sir, and he's like, look me in the eye, sure, but he's never like looking at him, like he's looking around him, and he's
He's
like,
a funny dude.
I said,
He
look
really
at
is
me.
funny.
It's the physical part.
Him
Of it.
and-
He's like, look at me, and he's like, sure.
Him
What do you need?
and Keanu Reeves were
Mm.
doing an interview together for
oh,
Sonic 3.
Yes.
Yeah, that's her. And he was cracking me the fuck up because Keanu Reeves is like a very stoic guy, very soft spoken and stuff.
Yeah.
And he's just over here like kind of cracking on him a little bit.
Oh yeah.
And just Keanu
I
Reeves.
loved it when they threw out there that they thought he was Steve's dad, the guy on Stranger Things,
hmm
and they had that whole thing
Mhm.
about him being his dad and stuff, and that was fucking funny.
Anyway, sorry,
Sorry.
we got off subject.
Day hosted the November 5th, 2011 episode of Saturday Night Live with Maroon 5 as the musical guest. He was the second cast member from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia to host SNL after Danny DeVito. Though DeVito hosted SNL before It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia premiered. Not preferred. DeVito...
Because he's been acting since like the 70s.
Taxi.
Taxi, yeah.
DeVito made a special appearance during Day's opening monologue. In September 2014, Day provided his voice for The Sims 4 TV spots. I thought those TVs sounded so familiar, Dad.
The TVs.
Yeah.
The TVs sounded familiar. All them TV sound so familiar.
Well, they just speak gibberish. How am I supposed to know? He's the creator and producer of Fox comedy The Cool Kids, starring Vicki Lawrence, Martin Mull, David, a bunch of other people, and set in a retirement community. On August 9th, 2019, Mythic Quest, a new half-hour comedy series written and produced by Day and Rob Elheny? McElhenney?
I think it's McElhenney. I don't know for sure.
McElhenney. Was announced as one of the original productions for Apple's upcoming streaming service, Apple TV+. In September 2021, Nintendo announced that Day will be voicing Luigi in the upcoming Mario movie, set to be released on December 21st, 2022. Still love that movie. It's such a good movie.
That's already been out for like a year, just so you all are aware.
Yeah.
What?
Day is currently, he's not currently working on this anymore, guys. Pretty sure this is an old article, Dad. Day is currently working on his
I think I just
feature
made that clear.
directorial. I had to make it clear. By dissing on
It's
you.
fucking translucent now.
Thank you. That's what the people want. Some translucency. Is that a word?
If you got too translucent, they'll hold it against you. So be careful.
They hold it against me. Translucency. Is that a word?
Mm-hmm.
Sweet. Alright.
Are you happy or are you gonna fuck me up?
I'm fine. Thank you.
Fucking moron, man.
Day is currently working on his feature directorial debut with the upcoming comedy El Tonto. It's weird. Featuring Kate Beckinsale,
Mm-hmm.
Eddie Falco, and John
Edie.
Malkovich.
I think it's Edie Falco.
Edie?
Yeah.
I don't know. It looks like Eddie, but without an extra D.
Yeah, it's Edie, I think.
Day writes, produces, and stars as a silent man who becomes a celebrity and loses it all. Silent man. That's hard to imagine. Personal life. A skilled musician. Day can play the piano, accordion, trombone, guitar, and harmonica, and has written and improvised some of the music featured in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. That's
Yeah.
sweet. He's talented. In 2014...
Nightman.
Nightman.
Yeah, that was one of his.
What it goes, Nightman. And then what does Dennis do?
Something about the day man.
No.
Nightman,
He doesn't say
something.
Dayman. He goes, whoa, or some shit like that.
That was a good episode, though.
That was a great fucking episode. They were like, what are they?
They
What were,
referenced it a lot.
weren't they like smoking crack or
Well,
something?
there
That
for a
wasn't
while.
crack. What was it? They
They
were on
were
some
doing
kind of
some.
drug.
Oh, I don't
Was it
remember.
cocaine? It wasn't cocaine.
I don't remember. It might have been cocaine,
It
actually.
was a whole lot of
They
something.
probably got it from cricket.
Did you see the one where they can't drink? Where they weren't drinking or
Um,
whatever, and they thought that they had like the flu or something.
Oh yeah. They
And
were
they're
all
like,
in
"Oh,
the.
wait."
They were all in the
The bathroom.
bathroom, whatever. They were like, they thought they were dying. Come to find out, they were just deprived of alcohol.
And then they go in and they start drinking, they start feeling better. Guys, I think we have a problem.
Oh man, that show is so good.
I love that show.
Mhm.
Every
I'm about to
episode is
binge
like
watch it.
fucking.
It's the
unique,
only
man.
sitcom that starts out one way and then like the people in it get progressively worse.
The most recent episode that we
Instead of
watched
getting better.
was the one where they're trying to they get a lawyer to over because
They're arguing.
Danny
over lottery
DeVito's
tickets.
character called Mac a fag in order to get him. He's like, "Move, fag!" and like because piano is about to fall on his head, and then they all had to go get a lawyer to figure out whose scratch off ticket it was. Like 'cause
'Cause
I guess Dee dropped it out of her
but
purse,
Dennis paid
for it technically.
But Frank wanted it because he's
Because
the one
he's the one who saved Mac, but
Yeah.
Mac was entitled to it because I don't remember why.
Because he was
because
offended.
he was offended, and then but Charlie thought he was entitled to it because he's the one who actually kicked Mac out of the way of the piano.
This
Yeah.
doesn't really sound familiar to me at all. I wonder if I've seen this one. Did
Oh,
you
was-
watch?
man.
It was the only one I've ever heard him drop the N bomb.
Did you?
Nuh-uh,
ever-
there was another one.
Was there?
Yeah.
Because Danny DeVito says it
Remember one
because of
I can't
offensive
remember-
words and
I can't remember who got a girlfriend, but she was black, and it was Danny DeVito who said it. She was like, "Oh, she's a," and then They were all like, Frank, you can't say that, man.
You see the one
Show
where,
really toes the line, man. Like,
see the one where Danny they're on a hike with him and Charlie. They're on a hike and Danny gives them like 2 bottles of water and it's piss.
Oh.
In both bottles. He's like, "Hey, you thirsty? Here's a bottle of Gatorade." That's fucking piss. Spits it out. Oh man, that's I thought that was my Gatorade. Oh, this one's my Gatorade. Oh, that's piss too. He's like, oh, I must have pissed in both of them.
the last one that the last one that the kids were allowed to watch was the episode where they go to the beach and they're walking under the pier and they walk by one guy fucking another guy and it's just ass and all you hear is clapping and you can see like just one going to town on the other and that was where Crystal was like, no, that's it, we're not, kids ain't watching no more of this shit. So that was her line. She was done at that point. So the boys are no longer allowed to watch It's Always Sunny with me.
So we gotta catch them whenever they're not home.
Yeah, so I gotta like get it in when I can, like when the boys aren't around, which is really disappointing because I thought they were digging it.
The one with the political thing where everybody was like political. It was like I think it was right after the Biden one.
I don't think because I'm only on season 12 now.
Well, we were really pissed off because everything on TV was about the election. Mm-hmm. And everybody was...
Oh, you told me about this.
Dogging Trump.
Like, you thought it was all political, and by the end, you were like, oh, I see
it was a huge joke, and I don't want to give away the joke if you haven't seen it.
No, I haven't seen it yet.
It got me. Like, the whole time, I'm like, oh my God, even you guys? And then at the end, I'm like, you got me.
Touche.
You got me. Yep, you got me. I was.
You should have known. You should have known better, though.
I know, right? I was like, they can't.
There's got to be a hook to this.
Well, that's why I kept saying like they can't be. Like I watched it till the end because of that. Because I was like, no way. What is the joke?
The
here?
gag.
Yeah, what's the gag? And then like at the end, I'm like,
got me.
Yep, I shouldn't have known that was where we were headed.
All right, I got one more paragraph. In 2001, Day met actress Mary Elizabeth Ellis. They began dating in 2004 when they co-starred as
Incestual.
What?
Incestual.
We told you about this. It was on Reno 911. They were brother and sister.
Oh, yeah. Ellis has a reoccurring role in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia as the waitress, the object of the unrequited love and obsession for Day's character. Sorry, I thought I heard an Alexa.
Yep. Later in the military.
Put that cookie down!
The couple married on March 4th, 2006. Together, they had their first child, a son named Russell Wallace Day. In December 2011, they lived in Los Angeles, California. Day has stated with uncertainty that he is agnostic. What does that mean?
It means he doesn't know what exists religiously, and he doesn't care.
There could be.
He said he believes that there could be something out there, but he doesn't know, and he doesn't. Honestly, it's a good answer for people who are like, I don't care.
Yeah.
It's a good answer. That's what I tell people. I'm agnostic. I don't know. I don't care. That's where I stand with it. That it? All right. Favorite Charlie Day. It's a lot.
You can read that.
Sure. It's a lot. It is, but there's a lot to the movie. Like there really is a lot of details throughout the movie that it's a lot. Favorite Charlie Day movie, show, whatever.
It's Always Sunny.
It's Always Sunny is easy. So what
Don't
movie?
Yeah, let's say other than Always Sunny.
Because let's face it, if we all had a choice, it'd be It's Always Sunny.
Well, if you're gonna put TV shows in there, then yes.
Well, you could do TV
but
shows,
if you only did movies.
But let's just go with movies.
And the Mario movie. But mainly Fist Fight. That movie is so good.
I've got three.
I haven't seen that movie
It's
yet.
so funny. I love it.
So I can't say that.
Fist Fight?
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet.
That's really funny.
It's really funny. It really is.
I really liked Horrible Bosses.
Yeah,
That's
that's the one I'm going with is Horrible Bosses.
I really like the Mario movie, but it's just voice work. I also love the Lego movie.
Who was
That's
he
why I
in the
didn't
Lego
pick him, 'cause
movie?
He was the astronaut.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah!
Yeah, he was the astronaut in the
Yeah.
Lego movie. But I'm not even going to go with that. I think I'm going to go... I think because he's the main role, I'm going to go with Fist Fight because he's like... He's the main guy in the whole movie, and he's
Yeah.
also really funny in it. So
Can we rewatch that movie sometime?
yeah, totally.
I love that movie.
I love that movie. And he's also awesome in Pacific Rim. He's my favorite part of the whole movie. In
Couldn't
Pacific
figure
Rim.
him out at first. I thought, like, is he gonna be a bad guy or something? Just because the way he was.
Like kind of setting himself up.
Yeah, and then like towards when he was like, well, the door goes both ways, and he was like dead set about doing it anyway. I'm like, are you gonna fuck everybody over here? Like that's where my head was going, but I'm glad he wasn't.
Yeah, right. Him and the other guy were like they were a good comic relief. Those
They're-
two, and Ron Perlman are my
Jeffrey
favorites.
Combs.
Huh?
Dude, that guy was giving me Jeffrey Combs vibes.
Oh yeah,
like
the
when
Jeffrey
it came
Combs
to
knockoff.
Charlie Day was like Rick Moranis vibes.
It was totally Rick
like
Moranis
especially
vibes.
like in certain scenes, like he'd turn a certain way, or
I
like
was
when
actually-
he got wet and he was like,
I was
like,
actually thinking that whenever I was watching, I was like, holy shit, he could be Dark Helmet.
yeah, I was like, like so I got Rick Moranis vibes from him, and I got Jeffrey Combs vibes from his friend,
Yep.
and I was like, your Jeffrey Combs is broken. He's not working right.
Yeah. So fist fight.
Horrible bosses.
Horrible bosses. Good choices. I love Charlie Day.
Mhm.
But it would be It's Always Sunny all around, right?
Totally.
If you're gonna put,
If you're gonna put TV shows in
TV
there,
show,
it's always
yeah,
Sunny
it would
is
be
like
always
Okay.
Sunny.
that's his best character ever. Like,
well, I mean, any other TV show he's been in would be a guest star, so like you can only say like that one episode. You know, like
Right.
Reno 911 was
Yeah.
a great show, but he wasn't in it but one episode.
right.
so.
Same as Mythic Quest. He was in a few episodes of that.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's move on here.
Are you eating
No.
paint?
Let's talk about the movie.
The movie,
What's your
people.
favorite?
The movie.
I got a
All right,
leprechaun in
so-
the basement.
This week we watched Pacific Rim from 2013. Karen, you got that plot synop?
I do. If I can open this thing back up again. You want to get hit? 'Cause I'll hit you.
It's not nice.
Oh boy,
We'll get over it.
it's a long
It should
one.
be nice.
Using
Yes, it
massive
is.
piloted robots to combat the alien threat, Earth survivors take the fight to the invading alien force lurking in the depths of the Pacific Ocean. Nearly defenseless in the face of the relentless enemy, the forces of mankind have no choice but to turn to two unlikely heroes who now stand as Earth's final hope against the mounting apocalypse. 2 hours and 11 minutes, PG-13. Charlie Hunnam is Rayleigh Beckett. Meko Mori is Rinko Kichu. Nope. Idris Elba, Stacker Pentecost, Clifton College Jr. is Tendo Choi, Ron Perlman is Hannibal Chow, and Charlie Day, Dr. Newton Geisler, and that's where I'm gonna cut it. Yeah, you know those people.
Alrighty,
Penny.
Madison, would you watch? Would you recommend?
Penny and Theodore.
Yeah, I
watch
guess so.
with me.
Yeah, you guess so.
I don't know if I'd watch it again though.
No?
Not unless I had to.
Not unless you had to. Okay.
Maybe for Charlie. That's
For
it.
Charlie. All right. So for me, this movie, I've seen this movie. This would be my third time, I think, seeing this movie.
It's about the same for me.
Yeah, I think it's my third time watching it. I would recommend it to people. Check it out. Like if you're looking for a good, fun movie, you know,
Action.
It's not because it's people would try to compare this movie to like Transformers or
No.
Power Rangers.
not maybe not
No.
Power Rangers.
They reminded me of Power Rangers.
But like
no, I hated Power Rangers.
but this has more of a human element to it that I really like. You know what I mean? So, like, because the robots don't have personalities; they're only ran by humans, unlike Transformers and things like that. But this movie has a lot of human element, and I really like it. So I think the movie is, I would recommend people check it out, especially if you're looking for a good, fun movie to watch. And it's not over. I mean, it's violent, but only towards like giant monsters. And then like, there's not a lot of cussing. There's no sex and nudity. So it's actually a movie you could watch with your kids. Like, as long as you're good with like some curse words here and there and things like that. But other than that, it's a vibrant fucking movie and it's fun. So I think I would recommend it to people. Check it out.
Yes and yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. All right. So we're going to get into this. This is a long plot. So It sounds like a pretty good recommend from everybody except Madison.
My
I've
first
recommended
impression-
it. I just don't want to watch it again.
My
for a
first
long
impression of it
time.
was like Alita. Like, why isn't this
Right,
bigger?
yeah.
Honestly, like when I first started watching it, I couldn't understand like why it wasn't. I guess more people liked it, or at least got a cult following out of it, or something.
I don't know. I know it's got some comic book spin-offs. It's got a sequel which Charlie Hunnam didn't return for,
Yeah.
which I thought was weird. I don't know why he didn't return. I'm sure there's a reason. But aside from that, like, because I know some of the original cast came back, like Charlie Day. I'm pretty sure the girl who played Rika. What's her name?
Maury,
Whatever her name is.
Yeah, that girl.
The girl. She came back, but it starred John Boyega, and I like him. So, and the second one, I watched it once, I think, and I don't think I cared for it as much. It was still good, but I don't think it was as good. Anyway, let's get into this plot here and get through this shit. I'm going to try to read this quickly, because there's a lot. La 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 la. All right, I got it. That's pretty good, wasn't it?
that was pretty
No.
good.
All right.
Mi scusi.
I think he needs a room, guys.
No. See, this is the one it should have been.
Groovy.
I think he needs a room, guys.
All right. All right. So, in the near future, colossal monsters identified as kaiju have risen from the interdimensional rift in a crevice beneath the Pacific Ocean, resulting in a war that takes millions of lives and quickly consumes humanity's resources. To combat the monsters, a special type of weapon is designed: massive mechs known as Jaegers, which are controlled simultaneously by 2 or 3 pilots whose minds are locked in a neural bridge, sharing the mental strain that would overwhelm a single pilot.
You know what? I believe if it came to the end of the world, that all countries would not join forces. They would just start another war.
I disagree.
I disagree.
I don't.
I think that under duress like that,
Nothing unites people like the threat of death.
yeah,
You guys
especially
have
the
too much
threat of
hope for this
annihilation.
world.
The threat of annihilation.
That's
would,
what I'm saying.
yeah.
There's no better like
Mhm.
unifier than everybody thinking they're gonna die.
That's what do you think
Yep.
Hitler did?
He
Everybody
died.
everybody came together and
Allegedly.
came together and took out Hitler. Anyway, Rayleigh and his brother, is it Rayleigh?
I think it's Rayleigh.
Okay, Rayleigh and his brother Yancey Beckett are,
What was wrong with their parents? Yancey and Rayleigh? Did they want girls?
I guess, are instructed to suit up to fight kaiju labeled Knifehead. Labeled Knifehead. A designated category 3 in danger and size. They wade out into the Pacific in their Jaeger Gypsy Danger, which I thought was a dumb name for a giant mech robot. Gypsy Danger.
What I got from
I'm sure
trivia
there's a
is
meaning.
that the names were because they were trying to sort of mimic the World War II attitude about naming ships.
Oh, I gotcha. Yeah. Well, yeah, but I mean, like, the name of theirs is Gypsy Danger. I don't.
I
They
don't
couldn't
know.
have thought of something
Why did
cooler?
they name their ships the things that they named?
I don't
mean,
know.
it is
I'm
very World
It
War
could have
II.
been
That's
1222,
true.
but
The
it wasn't.
name.
Yeah. With orders to kill the kaiju and save the city.
That first kaiju was a dick.
Yeah, he was.
Like,
They
he shows up in the ocean right where there's one ship in the ocean. One.
One, yeah.
And he's like,
yeah.
I'm gonna show up here, fuck them all up.
Fuck them all up.
Like
I'm gonna eat this little
It's
ship
like
of
hitting
people.
the only rock in the desert with your car. Like,
Yeah, right. It reminds me of that episode in what was it called? We Stare at Goats, or is it?
Oh yeah, yeah,
George
yeah.
Clooney
Because
and
he
Jeff
did
Bridges.
hit the car. He did hit that. Rock
Yeah,
or
and he hit the
whatever.
rock, and he's like, "Yeah, but you hit the only rock in like the entire desert."
Yeah, I remember that now. I remember that. Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. I was like, wow, you got great location.
Yeah.
Like,
All right. They are told to ignore the small fishing boat that is in the middle of the battle. Rayleigh ignores the command and attempts to save the ship. He and Yancey believe they are victorious after shooting Knifehead with the plasma cannon, built into the right arm and prepare to leave. Knifehead appears and attacks as the Jaeger is turned, ripping off Gypsy Danger's arm, left arm, and causing Rayleigh permanent damage. Knifehead then attacks the head, ripping it open and killing Yancey. Rayleigh pilots the Jaeger solo, killing Knifehead, but receiving severe damage to Gypsy Danger in the process. He limped the Jaeger ashore on the Alaskan coast, much to the amazement of a father and son who witnessed the event. Rayleigh emerges from the broken hull of the Gypsy Danger, dazed and bloodied before falling to the ground, unconscious, while the father sends his son off to get medical help. Traumatized by the sudden loss of his brother, while still mentally connected to him, Rayleigh quits the Jaeger program.
Anybody else realize we hadn't seen a title card, and then the title card comes up I didn't realize it until the title card came up. Like, oh yeah, we haven't done that yet.
Yeah, no, I knew that, and then
Yeah, I knew it was coming.
I just thought at this point, because I was like, oh, maybe it just isn't one, and then it popped up. I was like, oh, there it is.
Yeah. No, like when it came up, I'm like, oh yeah. We
Some
gotta
movies do that.
Yeah.
I kind of like it when they do that. They'll like get you like 10, 15 minutes into the movie, and then the title card. Like,
Mhm.
oh yeah.
Oh,
Wait,
yeah,
you're
yeah.
telling me that was an entire opening to this movie? Like,
We
wow.
haven't done that yet.
Right on time.
5 years later, Marshall Stacker.
Fucked with my emotions.
Yeah, fucking with my
Right.
emotions.
Marshall Stacker Pentecost. Right? Pentecost?
Pentecost.
Okay. Who was in charge of the Jaeger program, is informed by the UN that the program is being decommissioned.
Why would they do that?
I don't know. Because they thought they were putting all their resources into those walls.
That were getting demolished.
Yeah, obviously. Because
That is one thing that I feel like is
it's a very weak point.
it's a very weak plot point, because I can't imagine anyone abandoning
A
a
defense.
program that has worked for years and years and years and is just now starting to not work. I can see them going back to the drawing board
And be like, all
saying,
right,
"Oh,
we need to
gotta
make bigger,
them-
better Jaegers.
Yeah,
or
we gotta
whatever."
give them better weapons. We gotta improve the.
Don't get me
hull, we
wrong.
gotta
I think that
whatever,
the
but-
amount of resources that's put into these Jaegers is astronomical.
I
Oh,
just
it would
think
have
they-
to be.
You know, like
I-
that's a lot of the world's resources right there going into
Yeah.
these things.
Yeah.
I just think all the Jaegers needed swords. They whipped out the sword and it was game
Yeah,
over.
right,
Dude,
right.
that was pretty cool.
Yeah, whenever it
That-
come out,
that
he's like,
scene-
"Shing."
That scene was
Yeah.
pretty cool because
Yeah.
it was like, everybody forgets about the sword until you fucking
Until you
hate
fucking
it.
hate it. Yeah. So like, but the wall, I was like, when did they think that this was a good idea?
Yeah.
They've destroyed cities and cities and cities. What the hell is a wall gonna do?
Right.
You know,
I thought that
they
was
know
a
they're
weak,
getting bigger as they come. So
Yeah, I thought that was a weak plot point too.
it was a very
like
weak.
you got to
plot
figure
point.
out a different reason to make or like say that they're we're gonna put up this wall for a temporary measure until we can make Jaegers that are equipped to deal with these.
I could see,
You're
yeah,
a
like put up a
kaiju.
wall as some protection.
Yeah, and
But
then like
defenses,
in the meantime,
it's
these
like
guys,
guns and stuff that
Yeah,
would
exactly.
kill the, you
Yeah.
know,
And in the meantime, these people are like, you know what? But we still need to be protected, so they go on the
But
back burner.
another
or
thing I don't
whatever.
understand is like, why haven't they come up with their own defenses, like to safeguard cities? Like, why wouldn't you come up with bigger, more badass weapons,
Because
like
it was
like
working,
giant fucking plasma rifle,
Cannons
like
or
cannons
something.
or something?
because
Like,
it was working as is.
I'm saying, like, well, I'm even saying just even mount on walls, to mount on your coastlines. You know what I mean? Like, in case of another Jaeger or another kaiju attack, like the Jaeger may not be there yet. It's you slow it down at least enough to where it can't rampage through the city and destroy and kill millions of people.
Hire us. We have ideas.
I don't know. I think that they probably felt like they were spending enough money on these Jaegers, right?
Right, I get that.
And,
There's
and
a lot
again,
of
I
resources
don't
in
care.
that.
Like, money shouldn't be an issue when it comes to
To
saving
all
the planet.
human
Because,
life.
like, what's gonna happen to that money after the planet's
It's gonna be
done for?
worthless.
Like,
Mhm.
but I'm just saying that, like, I'm thinking like fucking the government.
All I could think when they were building that wall was like, Trump's future. Instead of kaiju, he's trying to keep the Mexicans out.
They could become kaiju. You don't know.
Yeah, they might transform,
And is the water any better down there?
huh? In
Can
Mexico?
you drink the water yet?
In
'Cause-
Mexico? No, I don't think so.
Well, then there you go. If somebody drinks the water, maybe they'll turn into a kaiju.
Turn into a kaiju.
Yeah.
All right,
It's all about mutation, right?
we've got ideas. Call us Hollywood.
Which kaiju is it? Pedro. Shit.
Pedro.
It's
Sorry.
Hitler. Oh.
That's terrible.
That is terrible. What the hell was I? Okay. His crew
Category
with all the
6.
remaining Jaegers will be shipped to Hong Kong's Shatterdome with 8 months of funding. In the meantime, they will concentrate efforts on the building of the Kaiju Wall, a tall structure protecting the Pacific cities from the Kaiju.
Like how big those things were, they'd have to build it to the sun.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like they didn't build them near. Like that guy just that
Could you
one
imagine? Like,
just
they,
kinda
like,
plowed through it. Like,
yoo-hoo, hi.
hey guys, I'm just gonna step over this so you don't have to rebuild,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna have to eat all of you.
yeah.
Just so you're aware.
Thanks for being on a bowl this time.
Yeah. You guys are like fish in a barrel now. So, that's pretty funny.
Cereal, yum.
Yeah, yum.
You guys got some
Got my
milk?
chopsticks for me?
Yeah.
I take you.
Like
got
little-
wasabi?
They're like little
Good.
little rices.
Just dip them in the ocean, a little salt. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
They're like a bursting rice. You know how they have bursting boba? They're like rices that burst.
All right. In the meantime, they
crunch.
will
There's
concentrate
more flavor
efforts
the
on
inside.
the building of the Kaiju Wall, a tall structure protecting the Pacific cities from the Kaiju. Stacker plans to follow through with the initial Jaeger objective, regardless of the lack of funding. He flies to the Kaiju Wall, where Rayleigh has been working for the past 5 years. Rayleigh and the other workers are watching the news, which shows the wall failing and the Kaiju named Mutavor, attacking Sydney, Australia, before it's stopped by the Jaeger striker Eureka, piloted by Herc and Chuck Hansen. Chuck asserts that the reason the Jaeger program failed was because of weak pilots. Stacker asks Rayleigh to rejoin the program, but he declines. He and his brother were still connected when he died, and he could not stand the mental pain of another time. Stacker asked where he would rather die, building the wall or in a Jaeger fighting Kaiju. Rayleigh reluctantly returns to the Jaeger program. When they arrive in Hong Kong, they are greeted by Mako Mori.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Later revealed as Pentecost's adopted daughter. She shows Rayleigh around the Shatterdome. They get into an elevator with 2 scientists, Newton Geisler and Herman Gottlieb. Gottlieb? Sure.
I'd say Gottlieb's probably more.
Who comprise the entire research team for the base. The Jaegers stationed in the Shatterdome are all the remaining mechs. Crimson Typhoon, which features 3 arms and is piloted by the Way pilots. The second is called Cherno Alpha, piloted by a pair of Russians, Sasha and Alexis. I'm not going to attempt that word. Herc and Chuck Hansen pilot the only Mark V Striker Eureka. Mako then shows Rayleigh to Gypsy Danger, who has been rebuilt with additional weapons for the final mission. She then shows him to his room right across from hers. Of course it is. Oh, it's got to be across from me. I want to see that bad.
I don't blame her.
I don't either.
I normally don't like blondes, but
He's not a very good actor in this movie, though, either. He's like the weakest actor, I think.
he's never really been a very strong.
That's
I'm sorry,
true.
like
he's not a strong actor.
Sons of Anarchy is about the best you get, but he was really just playing a laid back version of himself most of the
pretty
time.
much,
So.
yeah. She tells him that he will meet with the candidates for his partnership soon, and that she hopes to be a pilot one day. Her record is impressive, but she makes it clear that Stacker will not allow her to fight. She then goes to her room, but watches him from her door as he changes. Of course she does. That's why he was there to begin with. That's why she chose him. Like, I gotta see that bod.
I don't blame her.
But if it was a guy, it'd be really creepy.
Yeah, I know. If it was a guy watching her, then it would be weird.
No, only if he's not good looking.
That's true. Yeah,
In movies, it's fine if he's good looking.
it's true. Yeah, it's fine if he's good looking.
Like
if not,
if you took
Charlie Day.
The Notebook.
Put Charlie Day
and
in
you
her
put-
position,
No, you put
watching
you
Charlie
take The
Hunnam.
Notebook. I've never seen The Notebook, but you take The Notebook. I just know about his behavior in the movie. You take The Notebook and you put Steve Buscemi in that role.
No, yeah,
He's going to jail.
no that automatically turns into a thriller movie.
Yeah,
It's a thriller.
He's going to jail.
Yeah, he's going to jail. That movie automatically becomes like a stalking thriller where he's like crazy and shit like that because
Mhm.
he's not Ryan Gosling.
Correct.
So, and I have seen that movie. Don't waste your time.
That'd be
No.
funny.
I just know that he's like obsessed or something.
Yeah, he's very obsessive. with
Okay,
her.
well, if he's obsessive, then that's just creepy. I don't care if you're Ryan Gosling or not. But if you are going to get obsessive, Ryan, you could come my way.
Yeah, right?
I'm not going to disagree with that, Ryan Gosling. If you're going to be obsessed with somebody, why not me?
Oh, shit.
I'm not going to fuck you or nothing. Well, I don't know. You're pretty enough. I'll let my wife watch. Well, this dude's got issues.
I do not know this man.
I gotta put together a compilation of you talking like that. Make it a TikTok.
This guy might be gay.
Get all Chris Hemsworth talking.
Oh man, don't get me started. I would fuck that
Start
guy.
questioning now.
He's got to have the Thor hair though.
He's in
gotta
a
have
clear
the Thor
closet right now, okay? Leave
I
him
agree.
be.
The Thor hair is
Translucent.
Translucent.
Translucent, yeah. She then goes to her room and watches him from her door as he changes. Every time I read it, it just gets creepier. In the mess hall, Rayleigh is invited by Herc to sit with him and Chuck, but Chuck takes an instant dislike to Rayleigh because he believes him to be weak and fears that he will endanger their mission. Herc apologizes for his behavior, making it known that his son is a hothead and very impulsive. Rayleigh then goes to meet his partnership candidates who he beats easily in hand-to-hand combat. After noticing Mako staring at him in displeasure, he asks her what is wrong. She tells him that he isn't fighting to the best of his ability. He challenges her to a fight and Stacker approves. He and Mako trade blows on much more equal terms, but Stacker refuses to let them fight together, though he won't state his reason. Stacker then goes to meet with the scientist, Goblet, whatever, tells him Jeffrey Combs, yeah. It's not actually Jeffrey Combs, just so people are aware. We're not stupid.
He's giving you that vibe for sure.
Yeah, tells him that based on the data, they can expect a double event and a triple soon after. Newton asserts that he believes he can connect with a kaiju via drift, the same as pilots in the Jaeger program do. Stacker dismisses him, telling him that it's impossible, and goes with whatever information instead. Against his better judgment, Stacker appoints Mako and Rayleigh's partner, and they do a test run in Gypsy Danger. Stacker is called away by a frightened Globlet,
Yeah, that guy.
who tells him that Newton attempted to link anyway and has collapsed in seizures on the floor. Stacker runs to check on him, and Newton tells him that the kaiju are hive mind, meaning that they are all mentally linked and that their masters are colonizers. He explains that they go from world to world utilizing the kaiju to eradicate the current inhabitants.
You know what that reminded me of?
What?
Stranger Things.
Actually reminded me more of Slither, because that's exactly what the aliens in that movie do. They go from world to world.
Yep.
So
Little
as I was
grosser
reading
about it,
reviews
but-
for this movie, people kept comparing it to an anime called Evangelica or something like Evangelica.
I've heard of that.
Evangelic or whatever it is, and they're because of the mechs or
The
whatever.
one on Netflix, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Evangelion,
Yeah, whatever it is.
something like that. I don't know how to
They
pronounce
kept
it.
comparing this to that, and I don't know because I've never seen that, so I have no place
one
I've
to
never
came out
watched
compare.
it, but I
first?
heard it was really good.
I think that Evangelic show was out first because I'm pretty sure that anime is has been around for a while.
I mean, but technically, you can make the argument that it's not the first time it's been done either.
Right? Yeah.
And
I mean, everything is like we always say. There's no
5 original plot
Yeah,
lines,
there's
and they've
no-
all
there's
been
no
used.
originality
It just
left,
depends on what
so-
you do with it.
right. Exactly. So I mean,
An
it just
alien
depends.
race coming to destroy Earth.
Big mech. I mean, you could compare that to just about
Gundams.
anything. Gundams. I mean, yeah.
At least they come out
Power
in the
Rangers.
this
Yeah.
time.
Gundams
Yeah.
piloted by a human.
Yeah, so it is what it is. Just depends on how you want to do it.
That
and
is what
if it
reminded me
entertains
of
you.
a lot. Whenever they got in them suits, all I can think of was Power Rangers.
Power Rangers, yeah.
I hate
Um,
Power Rangers.
I loved the Power Rangers.
They
You
came
loved
to
it.
Earth once before
Come on.
during the time of the dinosaurs, but there was too much oxygen in the atmosphere, and the humans practically terraformed it from them. For them, Stacker instructs Newton to do another link with a fresh brain, which he can get from the black market dealer Hannibal Chow. Meanwhile, after the link between Rayleigh and Mako is established, Rayleigh has a memory of his brother being taken from Gypsy Danger, causing the link to break. Since it is Mako's first run, she gets lost in the memories, living out one run from her childhood in which she wanders around Tokyo with the kaiju Onibaba. That's a pretty cool name, honestly. Onibaba. Following her. It was a giant crab. She accidentally activates the plasma cannon while still in her memory, causing Herc and Tendo Choi.
That was
Oh, yeah,
Collins Jr.
Yeah. And engineer to shut Gypsy Danger down. Stacker returns, deciding that it is far too dangerous for the two of them to work together, and talks with Herc and Chuck to determine the next steps. So I thought that whole part with the little girl, like her as a little girl and stuff, I thought that was a pretty cool scene, especially with him in the memory, kind of showing that he's there and he's trying to not only help her from the outside, but also the inside. And also what you realize later on after he talks to Stacker or whatever about the dream, and then seeing Stacker come out of it, like that whole sequence is cool as fuck. I don't know why. I just thought it had a lot of emotional weight there. Like as much as this movie could possibly do anyway. You know what I mean?
It was okay.
just
No,
thought
I mean I liked the little girl in that whole thing, like you said, seeing him in the memory. But did we have to go the one step further? We knew he saved her. Like if you didn't know that already, then you're not paying attention.
I thought that scene was cool because it helps you understand. I know that you didn't need it, but it helps with the hit of like that feeling of like, okay, he cares a lot for her, and you can see
that little girl
it's
stomach
portrayed
quenched.
that way in that scene between the look on his face and the look on her face, showing the happiness and the smile on his face that he just saved this wonderful little girl. Blah blah blah. It carries emotional weight, I guess. Like I said, as much as this movie could carry, you know what I mean?
Okay, I'll relent, and that was fine. That was a fine scene. No, I have more to say, but I'm not gonna get into it.
You're
I
just
don't wanna
like, it was an okay scene, and they're like, I'll relent. It was a good scene. I guess. You know what I mean?
I guess it's more so the other things that I had issue with, and that lent to it. But I understand what you're saying. I'm not gonna.
Right?
say
Yeah.
it.
No, I get it.
It's,
No,
it's
because-
fine.
You're like, it's
That-
fine, and they're like, yeah, I guess it was okay.
But it's because of all of the other, like less drama, more kaiju fights.
I get it. I get where you're
that
coming.
was
You're
probably
like,
my only real bitch.
I see now. I can't complain because like I said, the human element in this movie is like it's really good.
No, it is.
So-
I'm not disagreeing with that. It's the
I-
fact that they didn't. It didn't have to be the entire movie. It didn't
Right.
have to
I get what
be-
you're saying. You're like, I wanted more. You wanted more
I
mech and
wanted
kaiju
more
shit.
action. I wanted to see more. Like
I
they
get it.
opened it up with that amazing fight,
Right.
and then like we sit there and watch people cry for an hour.
Right, I get it. I understand.
Yeah, that's,
I get
She wanted
because
more
people
Michael
walk
Bay,
into this
damn
movie
it.
thinking, all right, you're big robots and giant monsters. This
I
is gonna
thought
be
they'd
awesome.
sprinkle it in at least or something, and it was just like,
And they went a pretty pretty good stretch there without seeing any of that. So
yeah. And I get you're
I
trying
get your-
you're
I
trying
get
to
it.
set something up, and that's fine. That scene would have been good for a setup scene, and that was fine. I don't have a
no,
problem
I don't.
with that.
I'm not going to disagree with you at all. I think that you're right. I think that it could have used more of that, but I like
Either that or shorten the movie. Like I'm just saying, like you don't
I get it.
shorten down that human.
But I'm
element
honestly
part.
not going to complain because I like that. I mean, I know the movie's long, but it doesn't feel long.
No, I don't disagree
I
with you
thought
there
it
either.
did.
I just feel like
That's because you weren't as into it as I
they
was.
took too much time to set up what I feel like as the audience should already know as like they threw things in there that really did not have. They took every every situation in the book to tear at your heartstrings and threw it in this movie.
Right.
So okay, so he saved the girl, yeah.
Ah, but he's
we knew that.
dying.
Okay, but then he's dying, and now he's got to go on a suicide mission. She can't be a pilot, but she can be a pilot. No, she can't be a pilot.
But then
Yes,
you
she
got
can be
the
a pilot.
love interest, sort of like the back and forth between those two.
Yeah, and
It's
it was like
I get what you're saying.
it was like okay, do we have to see every single like
yeah,
trope in the book
Right,
in
I get
one
it.
movie?
I
like,
got you. Yeah, okay.
that.
I
yeah.
guess it is a lot. It is a lot, but I think that's what I
But
like
he's
so much about
dying.
it.
Yeah, like did he have to be dying, or hey, he dies in battle? Okay, I can see that he died in battle. Oh, that's sad. But we knew before he went into battle he was gonna die. It was a suicide mission.
I think that's why I
Like-
didn't linger too much on it though, too, which was good.
It was. At that point in time, I was done. Like,
Yeah.
oh darn,
That's
Darn.
my son.
Poor
Let's
guy.
get back to it now.
Yeah, can we roll on here?
Yeah.
That's my son. Take care of him.
yeah.
Let's blow up each other.
You knew before he went up there he was gonna die.
Yep.
You knew it. Like
I love that. I love that there was like almost no emotional connection between the father and son thing.
Oh, there was, but by that time he was.
No, I mean like
and
he
I
was
get
like,
that.
"You're probably gonna die. I love you, and I want you to know that. Bye." you know
Well,
what I
but
mean?
see, what else could be said? Their minds are linked when they're in there.
Right.
They know everything that the other person knows. Like, there's no reason for that scene to be that was perfect.
Yeah.
That was perfect.
Yeah, it was good. It was funny too, though,
It
because he
was,
pretty
but-
much like was like,
It was, but it was perfect. It was
Sorry,
perfect.
son, my arm hurts. I
That's
can't go with you.
That's probably the most genuine scene in that movie.
yeah.
The rest of it feels
Forced.
like yes,
My arm
Of
hurts.
course.
I
Yes.
can't do it.
My arm
I feel like that was a really weak thing. Like, my arm. I can't go. Darn.
Well, I think it's.
I guess I got to stay here with everybody else.
Well, they did explain that too.
Safely.
Like they have to.
I know.
You know,
but,
like like you see the guy.
but here he is over here calling Charlie Hunnam.
I got this.
He's
Chicken
over here
wing
calling-
it.
Stand down.
I know, but he's like over here calling Charlie Hunnam's character like weak. It's like, really, dude, weak. Like your dad, though.
But yeah,
know?
I mean, it's pretty predictable. Like their characters. Like I was not surprised about any of the human parts of the movie, and a large part of that was that it was like, yep, that's where we're going. And you know, like when he came out and like said he was dying, like I didn't need to see his nosebleed to know that he was gonna die.
Yeah, we knew.
Like he was gonna die. Like he was gonna die the first time I met that guy. Like
Yeah,
I knew it.
you knew he was going down at some point.
Yeah,
you knew
like,
he was dying.
They didn't have to go so hard at it. I
Yeah, they did.
guess it was just that was my biggest gripe.
Oh boy. All right. Well, let's finish this. Where was I at?
About a third of the way down.
Yeah, right. Against better judgment, Stacker appoints Mako. Blah, blah, blah. Hold on, I think I go all the way to Frighten. Yeah, okay, I already read that. Okay, Chuck and Rayleigh fight with when Chuck insults Mako, but are broken up by Herc while Rayleigh and Mako go in to talk to Stacker. Stacker tells Mako that she is too inexperienced and won't be piloting again, and Mako leaves. Rayleigh strikes out at Stacker, saying that he knows why he won't let Mako fight since he's been in her memories. The kaiju that was hunting Mako was killed by the Jaeger that Stacker piloted. And he took her under his wing after that. Rayleigh says that he is only hindering Mako by... every time she said, I read Mako, I'm thinking of like...
Make a shirt.
No, like Mako, like Mako, like...
Lego?
No, like Mako, I could take my car to Mako and get it painted.
It does sound like a detailing place.
Well, that's what Mako is.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the MAACO.
Yeah,
right.
whatever it is,
I know
yeah.
what I know what you're talking about.
Anyway, Mako goes in to talk to Stacker. Stacker tells Mako that she is not blah blah blah. I never read that fucking shit. Where the hell was I? The kaiju that was hunting Mako killed blah blah blah. All right. Tendo detects two Category 4 kaiju, Leatherback and Otachi. Otachi? Okay. Striker, Eureka, Crimson Typhoon, and Cherno Alpha are deployed to fend off the kaiju. Herc and Chuck are supposed to remain back by the island as a last resort to avoid being damaged, while the Wei Tang triplets, and the Kadanovskis, yeah, I'm going with that, attack the two kaiju.
The triplets.
The kaiju swiftly destroys the Crimson Typhoon, prompting Herc and Chuck to assist. Striker Eureka arrives and joins the battle against Leatherback and Otachi, but not before the creatures overpower Cherno Alpha. Otachi then moves to attack Hong Kong. Leatherback triggers an EMP, disabling both Striker Eureka and the command center. Tendo says it will take 2 hours to get it all back online, so Stacker deploys Mako and Rayleigh as Gypsy Danger's nuclear core was unaffected by the EMP. I love that there's always a plot device. Oh no, an EMP. They've got weapons and shit. And it's yeah, well, the mission would have been too easy if it just went along smoothly. You know what I mean? You'd lose 20 minutes of the movie. There'd be no battle in Tokyo,
But you're missing a key point.
I did not.
It was a battle.
Scared over.
That's true. You're I don't care. I got to see kaiju. And I got to see them fuck each other up. I'm good with that.
It wasn't a bunch of people whining.
Yeah.
We're fighting.
What are you doing?
These cords over here tap my foot and it freaked me out.
That was a spider.
Jesus.
Oh
They defeat Leatherback, saving the Hensons, as well as Striker Eureka, though Herc breaks his arm after Leatherback lands a blow on the mech's head. Meanwhile, Newton has been walking around Hong Kong searching for Hannibal Chow. When he finds him, he is astonished to see that Chow has equipment and specimens that even the government doesn't have. When Newton tells Chow that he wants to establish another link with a fresh secondary kaiju brain, Chow is the best possible source. However, the incredulous Chow shows Newton an injury he suffered drifting with the kaiju. He angrily informs Newton that the link operates both ways, connecting to the mind of anyone who attempts it. Therefore, the kaiju's creatures will be able to track the human anywhere using their monstrous beasts. Chow forces Newton out of the sanctuary as Otachi storms the city, leaving Newton to find a public kaiju bunker. The bunker is attacked by Otachi, who breaks through the shelter's roof while searching for Newton, but Gypsy Danger attacks and they fight through the city streets before Otachi flies up with Gypsy Danger in her clutches, which was pretty cool because that's where you get to see the sword. Oh, here it is. Mako deploys Gypsy's sword and they slice Otachi in half before falling back to the ground. They land safely and return to the Shatter Dome.
Where did the body go?
What of the kaiju? It probably burned up as it was re-entering. Most of it, anyway.
Sure.
Um.
I would imagine, yeah.
Stacker
No.
reveals after they return that
Not that one.
he is very ill due to the radiation poisoning from
That's the one that was
piloting the
pregnant.
Mark One Coyote Tango. What?
So that kaiju's the one that was pregnant.
I thought it was the other one.
It was the other
they
one that was
killed.
pregnant that Gypsy Danger killed on the ground.
Yeah, they killed one on the ground, and then the other one
Yeah,
grabbed it. And flew up
but
into
the one
air.
that had the
No, yeah, he's right. The one that landed back onto the ground
yeah, because
that
it
was
the,
flying. That was the pregnant one.
Oh, was
Because
it?
remember, he blasted the fuck out of the other one.
the baby that came out was exactly like
Yeah,
that
you're
dragon
right.
one.
You're right. Yeah, the one that was up and that flew up was the one that was
It
pregnant.
came down.
Yeah, it came
Mhm.
back down.
Yeah, because the other one that he fought was he blasted the fuck out of it with his
Yeah, he
plasma cannon.
fucking shot the shit out
Yeah, there
of
was
it.
pretty much nothing left of that thing. Because
Uh-huh.
one of the best lines in the movie was like, "I think
the
I hear a pulse."
Yeah, that
He
was my
turns
favorite
around.
line. He's like, "Oh, we gotta go check for a pulse.
Yeah,
No
pow,
pulse."
pow, pow, pow.
Like pow, pow, pow. He's like, "No pulse."
Yeah, that was definitely.
They
my
shot
favorite
the
part.
hell out of that. Like you
Yeah.
were seeing ribs and everything
Mhm.
by the time they were done.
It was pretty cool.
Right, like let's check for a pulse or something
Yeah.
like that.
Having survived Otachi's attack, Newton marches back to Chow's store and
You're not a sponsorship. Stop trying to sponsor your jacket to me every time
I'm
you
not
come in here.
turning
Yes,
it
you were.
off.
You so were.
he's
I'm
hot.
turning it off.
No. Of course you think that.
Having survived Otachi's attack, Newton
What?
marches back into
Oh.
Chow's store
He
and
said
demands
he's
that
hot because you would think that.
Yeah, I was too. I was turning it off.
You know what? He's flexing on all of us over here, shivering and like
he is
freezing,
too.
and he's like, "I'm hot.
I'm hot. I gotta turn this fucking jacket off.
I turned it off because I got cold, so then I turned it back off.
And now he's sponsoring.
I ain't sponsor shit. I'm not telling you
The
what kind.
Bonsai Movie Crew brought to you this week by Milwaukee.
See, now he's sponsoring what it is.
Not old Milwaukee, the beer, but Milwaukee, the tool brand.
Yeah,
I
see?
wish it was old Milwaukee.
Why?
I don't know.
It's not even a good beer.
So?
It's like old guy's beer.
Is it like water?
It tastes like piss.
Oh well.
This stuff tastes like soap. Like what I imagine
Most
soap
beer
to taste like.
does.
That's what I thought it would make Milwaukee taste like.
All right. Chow, seemingly more impressed with Newton, allows him to accompany his team when they go to harvest the parts from Otachi's carcass. Chow's men say that the secondary brain of Otachi is damaged, but they hear a heartbeat, and Newton realizes that Otachi is pregnant. While running away, Newton slips as the infant asphyxiates itself with a umbilical cord. The haughty Chow brags that he
Haughty isn't. Yeah.
the haughty Chow brags that he could sense the infant monster was going to die from a prolapsed cord. However, the beast is only unconscious and lunges at Chow, swallowing him whole before it finally dies. Only one of Chow's consumed toe-plated shoes is left. Stacker decides to put the final plan into motion early, knowing that they won't survive the triple attack. Predicted. Gottlieb.
Yeah.
Gottlieb. The final plan is to go through the portal and destroy it with a high-yield nuclear bomb so that the kaiju can no longer get through. Gypsy Danger is supposed to run protection, giving enough time for Chuck and Herc to get through the portal and deploy the bomb. However, with Herc injured and little time to find another pilot, Stacker decides to partner with Chuck, knowing that they could all die if he didn't. Herc and Chuck say goodbye to each other, knowing that Chuck will most likely not return. Meanwhile, Newton has decided to link with the newborn brain, and Gottlieb joins him. They realize that the plan to nuke the breach will not work and return to the base. They inform the two Jaegers that the portal will not respond to the genetic code of a kaiju, only
Jaeger.
respond to the genetic code of a kaiju, and that they must use a kaiju or a part of one to pass through, or else the bomb would deflect like before and only affect Earth. The two Jaegers engage the triple event kaiju, Scunner, Reiju, and Slattern. I didn't even know these fucking things had names. With the latter the strongest of the three, the first category 5 kaiju. Both Jaegers take heavy damage in the process. Stacker and Chuck decide to deploy the bomb, sacrificing Stryker and themselves to try and kill Scunner and Slattern, to give Mako and Rayleigh a chance to get through the portal. Oh my god, we're down. This is like a home run right here. We're almost done. Man. A heavily damaged Gypsy approaches the portal. I'm like excited now. A heavily damaged... I'm like, I see it. A heavily damaged Gypsy approaches the portal, but is attacked by a weakened, though not dead, Slattern. Gypsy tackles Slattern, killing it with her sword and chest turbine. Then passes through the portal, latched into its corpse. The Gypsy Danger crew is losing oxygen rapidly, so Rayleigh gives Mako his share and deploys her ejection pod. He then proceeds to manually overload the nuclear reactor just as Gypsy enters the antiverse. Rayleigh ejects himself out and back to Earth seconds before the mech detonates, decimating the alien forces and sealing off the breach. The two pods reach the surface, but Rayleigh is not responding with a pulse, and they fear that he is dead. Really, everybody else that died, you're worried about him? Like that's the only thing I was like.
He kind of saved everyone. Like you'd want him to make it.
Yeah, I guess. Mako swims to Rayleigh's pod, opening it and hugging him in relief. He jokes that he couldn't breathe because she was holding him too tightly. Tendo tells them that helicopters are on their way to get them and that they've done well. Herc then addressed the Shatterdome as Marshall, telling them to stop the war clock that counted down how much more time until the next attack, and the PPDC broke out in cheers.
How much money do you think they got?
Hold on, I've got like 2 sentences.
Now you know how I feel.
Yeah. After the initial credits roll, a mid-credits sequence shows Hannibal Chow slicing himself out of the belly of the infant kaiju that swallowed him whole, demanding his missing shoe, seemingly unharmed by Otachi's blood. Where's my goddamn shoe?
So what you're telling me is all they had to do was strap a fucking nuclear bomb to a dead kaiju and send it down to the portal and be done with it.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
They could have done that whole time.
Well, that's what they understand. Like, why do you have to go down? Like, why do you have to go with it? Strap a big ass nuke to that motherfucker. Send him back through the portal. Like,
blow it
oops.
up. Boom.
Blow it up.
Done.
Already here, but like, how did the pods know where to go?
They just went straight up.
Yeah.
But how do they know where the breach is?
They just went straight up. They just floated up. I don't know.
But there's a lot of area to cover in that.
Magic. Well, you got to think
the only thing I can figure is
they were falling straight down.
Yeah,
so
but
if they release
had
them, they're going to go straight back up,
right? To say like, okay, if you're ejected, then you go to this coordinate. Okay, that's fine when you know where you are. But this breach is like another alien place. So like, how did it know?
It didn't. That's what I'm saying. They were just so whenever they went in, they just floated straight down. Whenever they released the pods just went straight back up, back through the breach.
but
That's all
the
it
breach
was.
is only like this big. So
And compared to, I mean, the breach
compared to the rest of the so like
compared to
this
that
is
little
your
pod, that breach is like
and
gigantic.
then everything comes down, and then that pod just knows to go through this tiny little hole,
Yes, because it's just floating straight back up where it came from.
but it could go straight back up and go here or here.
It
or
could, but it
here,
didn't.
Or here. You see what I'm saying?
Maybe the breach has like a suction.
They
It
had
sucks
to.
things
They
in.
had to have put coordinates in.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
But even if they did, how do they know that that's going to work?
They don't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Chance I'd be willing to take. I don't know about you.
Sure, no, I would definitely still eject. I'm just saying that, like, I don't understand. Like, there's so much of the
I
science.
figure they're just falling straight down from the breach.
No, it can't be that.
Yeah, because like if they're falling straight down from the breach and they release the pod straight up, it's just gonna
Maybe
go
the
straight
breach
back up
is
from
more
the
like
breach.
a.
But it didn't go straight down. It went into a whole nother cavern at some point. Like it went through this.
Maybe the breach is like a black hole that when it
sucks things in.
sucks it in, that shoots back out. It's the same kind of like a dimensional.
Maybe it just sucks things in and it
wormhole
shoots
that
it out
shoots
into
it.
Earth.
But I'm saying that they never explained any of the science to us, right? So like, you get this pod that, in my mind, could literally go anywhere once it's ejected.
Yeah.
How did it know where to go?
I mean, there's a lot of things about this movie we could question, but honestly, that's the least of my questions.
How did they make a
It
robot?
Well, I'm
floated.
saying
like
that that's what they decided to go with. You guys say, like, just throw a nuke down there. Well, how does the nuke know where to go? You have to have coordinates.
Sure.
The kaiju.
You guys can't do that.
Hold
you
on,
can't
hold
say
on,
that
hold
this
on.
is a problem
No,
with
the
nuclear
kaiju-
things,
the
then I bring up something, they go, no, you're worrying about this too
No,
much.
no, no.
It's
I'm
the
saying
same
like,
hold on,
what we
thing.
were
hold on,
trying to
hold
say
on,
was
hold on.
like,
The kaiju's body is the coordinates. That's what he told you. What the kaiju's
But
body
how
is.
do you know it's going to go down there deep enough? They said it had to make it into that inner whatever. How
Into
do
the
they know
cavern or
about?
whatever
Yeah,
it
the
is,
inner
yeah.
cavern. The kaiju never made it down there. They did.
The kaiju's body
The
did.
kaiju's body did not follow them down there. They let it go, and they
Maybe
went
they
in.
had the coordinates of the like opening in the earth. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, no, I get that.
no, there was no opening in the Earth. What are you talking about?
Well,
In
they
the
would have
bottom
had
of
to
the
have
sea, there
the
was an
coordinates.
opening.
Oh, you mean through
coordinates
through the breach?
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense too. But I'm just saying that, like, once you, it has to be like an automatic pilot thing because, like, he was asleep, so even coordinates aren't a great. Like, it is almost like they'd have to have pilots, like, doing it from a computer or something.
They got lucky.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe.
It's
Yeah.
just something that bothers me because everything else in the movie was so well explained,
And it thought
even
out.
overly explained.
Yeah.
And then you've got this
Well, they were-
pod that just knows where to go.
They were watching them through the breach. If you remember watching it on
so
the
that's what I'm
computer,
saying.
so
Did
they
have
so they
people
they had
piloting them?
they
Could've
had a
been.
way
I mean,
of
it's a
seeing where
possibility,
they
I guess.
were, and
And
so
I'm just saying that they did such a good job of explaining so much.
with
other-
very little.
Yeah, and then like in this one instance,
They
they're
could have
like,
just easily showed somebody being like,
yeah, they
hey, make
coulda-
sure you
they could have said like,
pilot that.
no, I got
you know.
him. I got him. He's out. All right, hold on. I got him. You know.
You're right.
I
yeah.
mean,
Just as easily like one little
yeah, you know. You,
5 or 10 second scene of them
Yeah.
being like, yeah, I got them. They're good. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
or
Like,
explain the coordinates, or explain how
Right,
they came up
yeah.
with it, because they do have the science. Obviously, they've got the breach mapped out to a certain point.
I see what you're saying. I
That-
get what you're saying.
That's
It's
all
just-
I'm saying.
I wasn't that worried about it.
I just say a nuclear bomb to a kaiju body with a middle finger on it.
That would have been great, yeah. But they did say
Pow.
it had to make it into that inner thing, which I think is the reason that they had to have it piloted. But
Put a rocket on
But
it.
like you said, though, if they can pilot a fucking pod out of the thing, they
Exactly.
can pilot something into it.
exactly. So
So-
like, there's no way you can explain these pods to me in a way that makes sense based on what we know.
Right. And that's the weird thing, too. Like, they could just as easily have done this without the mechs needing to, like, guide it in. Because if you think about it, if they would have done it your way, like with the kite, like just strap a fucking kite, like a motor or something, like a big ass submarine,
rocket or something.
like a rocket or something, to a kaiju body and launch that fucker down in
Some
there. And whenever
big-ass
it
nukes.
opens up and whatever,
Boom.
just send it right in. Like, what are they going to do? Chase it in? Like, who gives a shit? That means you ain't got to fight them.
I think the only thing I can say is that the only thing that they ever said was that it had to make it into that inner
Into the
area.
cavern
Well,
area.
they were
so
in-
they
yeah,
could
they
so
already-
collapse.
like
so
you
it
had the
collapsed.
breach, and then you had this like area that looked like a universe, and then it went down into a further area that looked more like a planet.
Yeah, but they
And
were
they
like
said
I
it had
said
to
they
make it into that part.
And they already were watching them make it into
Yeah,
that
that's
part.
what I'm
So
saying.
that's what I'm saying.
There's no.
They know where they're at.
That's what I'm saying. There's no like good explanation for that.
My thing about it is if they can make one breach and they've done this multiple times on other planets, then why wouldn't they just do it again?
They're dead.
Yeah.
You destroy a breach, yeah,
like you said,
okay.
they killed them. I
Yeah.
don't know if that's all of them. Although it did look like a planet. I don't know. I guess we find out in the sequel. But-
Yeah, I don't remember anything
I don't
about the
remember the
sequel.
I'm just saying that.
I've watched it once and I can't remember anything from it, to be honest.
I'm just saying the only thing I can figure is that they didn't need people. They needed people to pilot to get it down into that second cavern. But then, how do you get your people out?
Right. I don't think they were worried about him coming back
Self-sacrifice.
alive.
Yeah, it was a fucking
one-way
miracle.
trip.
It's a
They did
fucking
it.
suicide
Oh wow,
mission.
it worked. I
Oh
mean,
shit,
of
you
course
guys
it
are
worked.
alive. That's awesome.
It worked. I mean, of course it worked.
Yeah. We knew you guys would come back alive.
What do we do now? They made
Right.
it back.
How much did you say we were getting paid?
Oh shit, we're supposed to pay these guys?
We
Yeah.
were planning on them
Fuck.
to die.
Yeah, we were planning on them to die. We
so
don't have a pension.
let
for
us
them.
show you your rooms.
You guys are set for life. Take him out back and kill him.
Thank you for your service. Pop, pop.
Yep. Just face
Dude.
that wall.
Do it fast so they don't
the media
feel it.
knows your name.
All right, so you guys got everything covered then?
That's it.
All right, let's go ahead and rate this.
Let's rock out as bitch.
Nobody's here.
No, thank you.
Shouldn't be anybody here.
It's too damn cold. Who the hell would become?
Real.
Fuck
It says
that.
it's already -2. Oh
Oh,
my
jeez.
god.
Good luck, you guys.
Feels like -15.
Good luck, you guys.
Damn.
I don't like
That gave me
it at
shivers
all.
just thinking about it.
I got my coat. I'm okay.
Fuck you.
So cool.
I wish I had it. Like, which one is it? Is it this one?
I'm a loner, Daddy.
No, that
I
one.
award you no points.
Nope, nope.
No.
That's the one I needed for you. See, I don't know what they are on here, so.
I won't make that noise when I go outside.
Yeah, you were like, yeah. It's cold out here.
It's so cool. He glitched.
All right, Madison, what did you think of Pacific Rim?
This movie was alright. It wasn't really like Transformers. I don't know. I haven't seen anything past the second movie. I just don't like them that much. I'm not gonna lie. I hate Transformer movies. even the
Transformer
first one.
movies? Yeah, they're not that good.
First one was good.
I
The
didn't
first
like
one was
I like the
good.
first
Second one was meh.
I didn't like the first one.
I don't
either.
think I remember him beyond.
Because they get to be the same fucking thing over and over
No,
again.
my friends were like, "Do you want to go watch a Transformers movie with us?" And I was like, "No."
I don't
I
really
don't
care
wanna
for
do
any of them.
that.
I didn't really
Yeah.
care for any of them.
And they were
The
like-
Bumblebee movie wasn't too bad.
And they like asked me for days before they were just like, "You want to watch Moana 2 instead?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'll watch that."
Oh yeah, they did just come out with another Transformers, didn't they?
Yeah.
Did
Because they tried to introduce the Beast ones or whatever, and it was a fucking massive.
Failure. Yeah.
I looked at it, I was like, that's the ones from, like, because it was supposed to be like the ones from Beast Wars. I'm like,
yeah.
they look stupid. Like, I didn't like it.
Anyways, no, it reminded me more of Power Rangers though, because they were people and big robots that were good friends fighting big robots from another space time continuum.
They weren't robots though. The kaiju. They were robots. They could get pregnant.
They were
What?
clones.
No, not those. In Power Rangers, they were always monsters from outer space.
Oh, shows you how much I know about Power Rangers.
Yeah, the robots were the things that the Power Rangers
Yeah, no,
would
I
get
remember
into.
that.
Yeah. Anyways, it reminded me of that. It was alright. I didn't hate the movie. But I don't want to watch it again unless someone's like, "Hey, you want to watch this movie?" I'll be like,
I doubt anybody who sounds like that is going to want to watch this movie.
"Hey, you want to watch this movie?"
It sounds more like it.
Do we have to? Well, I really appreciate it.
All right, is this you talking to your future boyfriend?
They said they can't sign out. Anyways.
One day he's going to ask you this question and you're going to laugh at him just like that. And you're like, yeah, you know, my dad called this. He said this is going to happen. I'm going to have to watch dumb movies with you.
Gross.
Define dumb though.
Well, I mean, there's movies that I want to watch that Crystal's like, I really don't want to watch that. I'm like, yeah, that's too bad.
No, instead be like, Charlie Day's in Fight Club too. We can always, or not Fight Club, a Fist Fight. We can watch.
don't
that
talk about Fight Club.
instead.
Yeah, we don't talk about Fight Club.
I don't know what that is.
Good
Oh,
answer.
No, I talked about
Great
Fight
movie.
Club.
All right, so what do you got?
Anyways, it was alright. I'll give it a 6.5. Just because it's not my kind of movie. Not gonna lie.
Okay. So for me, there's a lot of cool things about this movie. I love the color.
Good, jeez.
The only thing is, there's a lot of CG in this movie, but how else do you do a movie like this without using CG?
I don't know how you get away with.
You don't. You
You
can't
can't.
unless
I mean,
you
the
did
only
it
way
like
you
the
do
old
the-
Godzilla movies.
Yeah.
You know, and
What-
then
what
that would
about
just be,
action figures?
and then it would be a whole different
The old
movie.
Godzilla and Power Ranger movies.
Yeah, there you go. People in suits.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would
Yeah.
be a whole different movie.
That'd be a whole. It'd be actually kind of awesome. To be honest with you, I'd watch that
I
shit.
wonder if you could see like a version of this where it's that. You know what I mean?
That'd be so awesome. Like take
Kinda
away
like they
all
had,
the
like, Once
CG.
Upon a Deadpool. That was the PG.
You just take away
13
all the
version or
CG
whatever.
and make it all practical with people in suits.
Yeah.
But like the rest of the movie is of serious, like it's the same
Yeah,
tone.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like that would be great. It'd be like Once Upon a Deadpool.
Yeah.
Except with this movie, we have ideas.
Yeah. Make a fan movie. It's just us in suits. You can be the kaiju. I'll be the suit. I'll be in a big metal suit.
How come you get to be
I'll
the
be
metal
like,
suit?
boo, and I'll pull out this like plastic sword and chop off one of your arms, and it'll be like,
How come you get to be the metal guy?
because I get to be the metal guy.
This is lame.
Shut up, or you're gonna be a kaiju too.
We'll
I ain't
give
scared of you.
we'll give him the
We
gri-
changed
She
the
comes up
name.
and bitch smacks me. Sit down, bitch.
Get him down on the ground.
We're
Kaiju
changing the
what?
plot.
I'm winning.
give him the silver spray paint.
And then I'm down on the ground, curled up in a ball. This ain't in the script, Karen.
Kaiju's win this one, motherfucker.
Plot's changing.
Teabag, bitch.
Come on, you guys know that would be a great movie.
A little teabag though.
I would too.
Little teabag, like
Yeah.
getting teabag, bitch. I don't think that's what they mean by teabag. Whatever.
Don't
Well,
fucking
I
worry
get
about
this
it.
dude then.
I do it my own way.
So this movie's awesome. I love the colors. I love all the actors in this movie. I love Charlie Hunnam. I love Ron Perlman, Charlie Day. Like this, Idris Elba. This movie's fucking stacked. It's great. It's directed by Guillermo del Toro. I mean, come on. It's colorful. Is it original? Not by any stretch of the mind.
Them coming from the ocean is.
Sure. Well, no,
That's
not
how
really.
kaijus
That's
show
usually
up.
where they come from. Yeah. Like, where do you think Godzilla lives?
Yeah.
He lives in the
Outer
ocean.
space.
But
I've never seen Godzilla. I wouldn't know.
aside from that though, like, yeah, there's a few glaring flaws with the movie, but dude, the movie is fun. It is a fun fucking movie with a lot of great human elements, along with great like monster and robot elements. It's colorful. It's action packed. It's just a great fucking movie all around. It's very entertaining. It is a very entertaining movie, and it's not like entertaining in the way that like you got to shut your brain off to watch it. It's entertaining in ways that like, wow, they put a lot of thought into this whole movie. Like they put a lot of thought into the origins of the kaiju, the origins of the mechs, the origins of the characters, everything. And everything down to like Charlie Day's character and his search for a brain so he could, link up with it and all that stuff. It's a lot of thought into this movie. And I thought it was very awesome. And I think it's a very entertaining and fun movie. I honestly liked it watching it more this time than I did before. Because I remember watching it and just kind of like, yeah, good movie, I guess, yeah. But I watched it this time like, holy shit, this movie is like way more entertaining than I remember it being. And I definitely appreciate it because I like whenever you pulled it last week, I was like, yeah, okay, I ain't seen it in a while. But like watch, I was like, holy shit, this movie's fun. You know what I mean? And watching it with the boys, they sat through it and they loved it. So I think they did anyway. They weren't complaining, so I guess they liked it.
Normally they'll walk away if they don't like a movie.
Yeah, so, well, I made them watch it. So I was like, you're watching this movie with us. Yeah, get your asses down here. But aside from that, I think it's a great, fun movie. You can watch it with the kids. You can watch it with parents. Whatever, it doesn't matter. I'm going to give it an 8. I think it's a good movie.
Well, really the only gripe I had was the overly used tropes.
Oh.
And
Yeah,
just-
yeah, I agree.
it just got like you could get into it, right? Like the very first thing.
They
with
could
him.
shorten the movie a little bit by taking a few of those
Well-
things out. Like,
Well, like, you know, okay, so like the very first thing you see is the thing with him and his brother gets killed. Well, that's an obvious, like, it sets up the movie, sets up his whole thing, and okay,
Heck, they
All
could
right,
get
that's
rid of they could get rid of 30 seconds just by not letting us see her creep on that guy.
yeah.
I don't
I'm
know. I
just saying,
kind of
like,
enjoyed it.
Yeah, I'm
sure
sure.
you
I
did.
think they could have left that in there; it'd been fine.
I wouldn't have been.
No, like I'm just saying, like they do that with him, and that was fine because it's setting up this whole thing. But then they just continue to do it. They find all these tropes to throw in, like
Yeah, they really did.
they took like every
Like
trope,
this should have been a series.
yeah, like they took every dramatic trope you could have for a human, threw it into a fishbowl, and then like everybody just like, oh, where are we at? Oh,
And instead of grabbing one, they just grabbed a handful.
no, they just did it one at a time. Like, okay, well here we are in the story. What do we got to do now?
Oh.
Nope, he's got to die.
Yep, not just a suicide
Yeah, the father
mission.
figure to the
He's got
girl's got to
cancer.
die.
Yeah, and oh,
No, it's not cancer. It's
he also
nuclear
raised the
poisoning or
girl.
whatever.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it just kept going and stacking on.
What
top
about at the
each
end of the
other.
movie? Do they fall in love and kiss, or do they just like butt heads together? Butt heads together.
Mm,
Yeah,
yeah.
They're not actually.
we're not
they're
gonna
not-
actually
They're
We're
clarify.
not gonna
brothers
put
what
them
kind of-
together.
They're like brother sister.
We're not
gonna
but they
clarify
creep
what
on
kind
each
of-
other.
What kind of relationship there
Yeah.
is? It's just
I do think there was a missed opportunity though, right? With all of the black
Eskimo
market-
kisses.
the black market stuff that they kept talking about. How is it that they haven't sold that drift technology and use it in like porn theaters and stuff?
I mean,
I'm saying, you know, they showed the underbelly,
yeah, right.
and that could have been something that they threw in there.
That's
Because I'm thinking of like Demolition Man,
thinking it's a little
Coneheads.
bit.
I know it doesn't really
lot,
fit the
yeah.
flavor of the movie.
No, it's not even that. It's just that whenever they drift together, they literally take on each other's memories, so
No,
their
I get
memories
that.
become their
but
own.
Like
Imagine all that trauma
Sex
from the
with-
oh my
Exactly.
God.
being connected, like they could.
Yeah, but like if you connect me to like a sex worker, dude, that girl's got some daddy issues. I don't want that in my
no,
brain.
no, I'm saying like they limit it, right? Like Demolition Man.
Can
or,
they
like,
do that though?
They would have to if that's how they're going to.
Well, if they were
going to
limit it, why didn't he just limit it whenever he fucking linked up with the kaiju?
I'm saying if they're going to use the technology for that, trying to
Well,
make
that was
money.
like a whole.
I don't think
I mean,
they
there's
can,
money
yeah.
to be made there, is all I'm saying.
I don't think
Okay,
they can.
I'm gonna go with I don't think it's possible.
No, I think
Don't
it
know.
is.
I don't
think
think
it
I don't
totally
think they
is.
can. I, don't
I mean,
think they
there's a
can limit
market
it.
there. There's a market for
That's what I'm
everything.
saying. But they have that technology, but they can't. They can do it.
Kara's
They
like,
can
I
do
got
it.
faith in them. They can do it.
They can do it.
Karen,
They can
I
link
agree
up with a
you.
porn
They can
star.
do
They
it.
can do it.
They
It's,
can link-
I'm only just now getting what we're talking about, but they can do
they
it.
can do it. They absolutely can do it, and there's a market for it. And I just find it weird that we saw this whole underbelly, and you didn't see like one sex shop or one like.
Well, that's where it becomes not family friendly anymore.
I get that. It's just it's weird
them
that you
80s
see that,
movies
right?
did
Like
it.
it's basically like the dark web on screen,
All them,
right?
all
Yeah.
them 80s movies.
It's just
did it.
strange.
We can do it
It's a
too.
little bit too. I don't
Karen's
know.
like, why aren't they making a sex trade out of this shit? Come on,
You know that's where my mind went. I'm sorry, I can't help it.
sex trades.
You're talking about like I literally think of Demolition Man and Coneheads.
Yeah.
Mind melding. and all that.
Demolition Man did it pretty well.
Yeah. So anyway,
It was pretty funny.
but otherwise, like the acting was amazing. There was no qualms there. The action was great. I could have just used a little less whining and crying and drama. I don't want a lot of
And
that.
a little less talking from Charlie Hunnam. I think he should have been more stoic.
Mm.
Like less talking, because let's face it, he's not a good. It's almost like he's reading off a cue card sometimes.
I just felt
I
like,
love him to death. I love him. Like I named my son after Jackson Teller.
yeah,
My son's name is Jackson, just like Jackson Teller.
yeah.
And because we love that show. And but
he
him
had
as an actor,
stoicy. He was stoic, Jackson. You know what I mean? Like he could.
in the show he was.
That's
Yeah,
what I'm saying. Like he
I'm talking
could've
about in this
brought-
movie,
I know
though.
he could have brought a little bit more to that.
exactly. I was like, bring more of that stoicism. Like you don't need to talk a lot. You
Yeah.
don't need to say a lot because he's not good at reading lines.
Yeah.
Like that's his problem is reading the lines. He's a great he's a very performative actor. I'm okay with that because he always walks with this attitude. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And I'm good with that. He performs well. It's just that his line reading is it's
Yeah.
very dry.
I get it. But I don't really have a lot of complaints about the acting or anything. I think that they all. Did
He's the only one I had
fine.
to complain about.
It's just the pacing. They could have done better about that and not had to add in so much woe and terror for all the people. So I'm give it 7.5.
All right, that's actually higher than I thought you would give it.
No, I
honestly thought you were gonna hate this
But
movie.
I
I was like,
really
I don't know,
loved-
but then again, I thought, well, this could go one of two ways.
I
thought
love
you did.
action movies, and I love the action in it, and I just wish that there was more of that and a little less of the
human stuff.
Well, it's not just the human stuff; it's so fucking predictable.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It was so fucking predictable, and it was like you knew.
Mhm.
You knew every single one of these characters. You knew where their story was going to take them.
Except for Charlie Day, we didn't know where he was going.
No, he was. I will agree.
Yeah.
That
He was the only one that were like,
kept me
I don't know where he's
hopping.
gonna end up at the
I'm
end
like,
of this
is he
movie.
a good guy?
He
Bad
could
guy?
die.
Is he-
Yeah.
yeah. I agree. He was the only wild card. He's a
Wild card, yeah.
Wild card, bitches.
Wild card,
bitches.
Yeah, he was the only one. But everybody else, it was like, yep, this is what your character's all about. This is where he's going to go, and this is what's going to happen to him. I was right, over and over again. So, anyway, that's what
7.5. That's a good score, though. What do you think, Eric?
So, I mean, I really enjoyed the action in it. Charlie's got pretty good. I mean, he threw in a little bit of twist of the comedy in there, here and there.
Oh, he's great. He's
Yeah.
my favorite part of this movie.
Yeah.
Hands down.
I mean, overall, action was great. Color was good. Not much more else to say on it. I mean, like you guys said, you said with the whole tropes and all that.
I really didn't think about the tropes as much until you brought it up. So
Yeah.
Every single one of them.
yeah, I'm like, holy shit! Every one of them's in here. You're right.
Yeah.
Every one of them. It's great. It's a lot.
It was exhausting for
It's
me.
kind of exhausting. You're like, oh my god, there's so much going on.
Like,
screen
every
right
time
now.
something would happen, I'm like, oh, God. Are we
Like
doing
that whole
this? This is where we
intersection,
are.
that whole section
Oh.
between like the initial first fight until like it's like nothing.
Well,
but you're right.
until-
It's like an
until-
entire other movie in there
Until you
with
have
just
the
tropes.
fight with fucking Prego and
Yeah.
whatever the hell.
You guys know the Spider-Man trope to where every chief in their story always has to die?
Yeah.
Dude, he was the chief in their Spider-Man story. He had to die.
And then like, oh shit. Oh yeah, I'm just going to give it an 8 for me.
8. All right, that's
Yeah.
fair enough. I like it.
So that brings us to a 7.5.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Sounds about right, guys.
Yeah, I think the ending, like I said,
think the
they should have blew it
critics
up with the
probably liked
nuke.
it a lot. I'm gonna go with 80.
They should have blew it up with a nuke strapped to a kaiju. Would have just been.
I'd add
So
a lot
much
less
easier.
questions.
I'm gonna go with a 75.
You said
just
80,
because.
75. I'm going with. Oh, you guys pretty much nailed it. I'm going with 70.
70, 75, 80. Eric's going to take it 72%.
Oh,
You guys are like right on the nose with it. You guys are right around it. It's
I
good.
hate you.
Why?
Um,
I hate you.
Hold on, let me give you the critics consensus real quick.
We all went down like 5 points.
Hate you.
Critics
I could've
consensus
one
is,
point
It
you.
may,
I said
it may
74.
sport more style than substance, but Pacific Rim is a solid
You love
modern
it.
creature feature,
It's okay.
bolstered by fantastical imagery and an irresistible sense of fun.
If I throw my
I could actually
I
agree
would
with
say
mushroom
that
at
that
anything,
has
the knot on his head will
too
get
much
bigger.
substance.
Yeah, right. Because they had a lot of substance.
It had
I
a
don't-
lot of substance.
like more than a movie like this.
More
should
than I
have.
needed. Thank you very
But
much.
that's Guillermo. I think that's more of a Guillermo del Toro touch.
It
like,
is.
hey, we need to give these people more character, more life.
I get that, but like Guillermo, like it's an action movie.
But he's not an action movie guy,
I
though. That's
know.
the thing.
That's why
Like,
he should have.
I'm like, why are you directing? This is like this because this is right out of left field for him. I'm like, why is this a Guillermo del Toro movie?
His
I don't
stuff
understand.
is pretty and deep. This was pretty and too deep for a fucking action movie.
Yeah, right. Yeah, yeah. Because I mean, take fucking The Shape of Water as a prime example.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
But
even
I know
the
what I'm getting
Hellboy
into
movies.
with that.
Even
I
the
know-
Hellboy
I couldn't
movies
even
are
get
like a
into
good
that movie.
balance.
Yeah,
you
but
what
I
mean?
know what I'm getting into with that shit, right? Like I get into this and I'm thinking, yeah, fights. And,
No.
okay.
He did great with Hellboy.
Yeah, Hellboy was great.
But there's a lot of character development.
There
because
is,
it's-
but there's also a lot of great, like a lot of good stuff going on screen because
Yeah.
those are gorgeous movies too.
Well, that's what I said.
Gorgeous
His stuff is
I
pretty.
love his style of directing. All of his like,
It's pretty.
oh
and
my
it's
god,
deep.
it's so pretty. Like
Yeah.
I love his set designs, man. They're
Yeah.
awesome.
I don't disagree.
All right, audience.
75.
80.
I'm going with 70.
So it's a tie. because it is a 77%.
Rock,
So-
paper, scissors.
He wins.
It's not
He
me.
doesn't win at all.
Oh,
I'm,
oh, yeah.
I'm lost.
You win.
No, I want to play rock, paper, scissors.
Karen beat you.
Karen beat you.
Should have just taken
Karen
I
won.
told you.
Karen won.
Should have took the win.
All right. I only did a few of these because, there weren't actually a lot. So 1 star. One of the dumbest movies I've ever seen. I'll probably watch the sequels. I thought that one was funny. I was
Did
like,
you write that one?
No, I didn't.
That does sound like
But it says
something you
one of the
would
dumbest
say.
movies I've
Well,
ever
I
seen. I'll
started with the
probably
first
watch the
movie.
sequel.
I have to complete them.
Yeah. There's only one sequel, and I think an anime or something. I don't know. This one's half a star. It just says eye candy for idiots.
You what?
There's not.
Eye
No,
candy
I
for
disagree.
idiots.
You're a fucking asshole. Like, there's the eye candy for idiots.
You're a
There's
fucking
very little
asshole.
eye candy in this movie. Most of it's everybody
No,
crying and
No, they're
whining.
saying like eye candy as in like robots and all that other shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking
Oh, okay,
about.
yeah.
Very little of
That's what
that.
they were
Mostly
going
it's everybody
eye
crying
candy
and
for
whining.
idiots. I was like, really?
This is
And
what
Charlie
Karen
Hunnam
thinks.
took off his shirt like once, so eye candy my ass.
Fuck your own face!
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's really there's no attractive women in this movie, so there's that.
Yeah.
Like the girl,
You
she's
could have been in
okay.
German.
Dude, he got off the plane, and I saw that girl walking up, and I'm like, that's the love interest.
It's the only
And then she
viable
like pulled
one.
up her thing. I was like, she's not even attractive.
I liked her hair though.
Her hair is cool. I thought she was a cool character.
Yeah.
She's not ugly. I don't want to say
No.
that.
Oh.
She's not ugly, but she's also not that attractive. Madison will like this one. Half a star. Glorified Power Rangers movie with stiff acting and a horrible plot. Because the Power Rangers movie
I
wasn't.
was going to say that
already,
acting in
like-
Power Rangers was phenomenal.
Yeah,
Dude,
right?
that was one of the reasons I hated Power Rangers. It was so
Dude,
fucking
my little
stupid.
The
brothers
movie was
love
worse.
it. My little brothers make fun of the way that they act in
I
the
know,
Power
I love
Rangers.
it.
Was it,
I love it.
was
It's
it
like having a bunch
Dr.
of little
Ooze or
William
something like
Shatners
that?
running
Oh yeah,
around.
yeah. No, it's Ivan Ooze.
Ivan Ooze.
Ivan
yeah.
Ooze.
They're
I
like,
have that movie
"Guys,
on Blu-ray.
Another one.
I have.
What?
I had that movie
No.
on VHS.
I love the Power Rangers movie. It's so bad.
You almost have to act like you almost have to act that way. Like it's literally like the acting.
It's
like like they walk in and they're like, "We want you to be bad at it." Oh?
Every move they make, they're like, see, yeah. Come on, guys, let's do this. We can do this.
Yeah!
And their fist is always like this. Come on, guys. Come on.
Come on. You guys know we can do it.
We're going to beat you this time. Yeah.
You have no idea what I'm capable of. That's exactly what it was.
Oh, fuck
It was
me. That's
so
awesome.
bad.
It is so bad.
I hated
We
that
need to watch the
shit.
Power Rangers movie.
God,
Come on,
don't.
guys. We can do this. Yeah.
That would have to be a live watch.
I just shit my pants.
That's my
Maybe it's
Fuck.
serious. Or do you
You'll
know
stay
to
away
think
from
about
me
it
now.
about?
I stink. That's my superpower. I shit myself.
Fucking great, dude. I love the Power Rangers.
The monster's like
The Brown Power Ranger.
Yeah, the brown. He's like, and Deadpool shows up. He wore the brown suit today. All right, half a star.
Just
I want to.
a turdzoid just floating around.
Yeah. There's a new monster that Rita makes. I'm Ass Blaster.
And it looks like one of those tremors.
Yeah.
Oh.
Alright.
All right, half a star. I want to throw up. That's all they said.
Oh, okay.
Another one.
Sorry.
These are all really short, and all the 1 stars, half stars are all like just short, dumb answers. 1 star, just another mindless CGI movie, and that's all I got because I couldn't really find a lot, and they weren't like all of
And
the
nobody
other
has
ones.
any like reasons other than like, okay, another CGI movie. Well, how would you suggest we do?
Right, and I couldn't find anything with any discernible like. Okay, so like, okay, here's a 4.5 star I can give you. It says fun and engaging film. I don't have the whole thing, but fun and engaging film. In my humble opinion, the action scenes are the highlight of the film and are supported by a compelling and well above average story. The characters, which is true, let's face it, for this kind of movie, the story is actually really cool.
I agree.
The characters are moderately surface level, but deep enough to care about for the plot to have weight. So, I mean, like, at least the people who do give it higher scores have a legitimate reason for liking the movie.
Yeah, that's what
Whereas
I'm saying.
the people
You
who
can't-
give it low scores are like, I just don't like the movie. For what fucking reason?
yeah.
Fuck this
So-
movie.
And if you're one of those people, because look, there's movies that I've seen that I feel that way about that I'm like, I didn't like it. Why?
Yeah,
I don't like it. But I'm not going on Rotten Tomatoes and
exactly.
downing
Like,
it.
I don't know, I just didn't dig it. You
If
know
I
what
don't
mean?
have a valid or good reason to not like something, I'm not going to be the one to down its overall score or
Yeah,
rating.
I don't see. Like, I don't think Crystal cared for it as much as I did.
Mhm.
Like, she was ready for it to be. I think it was a little too long for her more than anything. But I think she was just ready for it to be over. Whereas I'm like, I'm digging this shit. You know what I mean? Like, I had fun with the movie.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No,
if the
I
boys did
had
or
fun.
not,
I
but-
just
I had Penny.
I twitched there for
Penny.
like
I
an
had,
hour. Like, can we get on with it?
I had Penny and Theodore Land with me watching it. So,
Were they?
Yeah.
So yeah. So I mean,
Penny was learning. Let's be real.
She
I
just,
think
she just wanted
I think
daddy
this
time.
is one of those movies that was more. I think it's more in line with like Alita, Battle
Yeah,
Angel.
yeah.
Like it's one of those movies
was
that kind of
exactly
falls
kind
in
of how
line
I-
with that.
Where it's
So,
like, I can't believe that more people aren't
it's
talking
it's
about
a high,
it, and
it's a
more people
heavy
aren't
CG
interested.
movie, but it's a heavy CG movie that with like some substance.
Yeah.
So and
Yeah.
honestly, if you're
I
gonna do a
didn't have a problem
CG
with CG.
movie, give us a story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you're gonna cop out on the practical effects and all that, give us a good story at least. You know what I mean? Like you do all these, like Michael Bay doing all these goddamn Transformer movies. Give us a fucking story we can relate to or like, instead of just throwing CG bullshit at us with big explosions. Like that's garbage, dude. It's garbage. You got to give us something to latch onto. Like
Whereas this movie
explosions
gave
and
us too
CG don't
much.
work anymore. You know.
This
Huh?
movie gave us too much. to
This
latch
movie
on
did
to.
give us a little bit too much. A little bit too much. If they could have cut like the whole dad-daughter thing between the two of them a little bit more, like cut some of that out, cut out the
They can leave that in.
flashback.
Now, I mean, when you showed me that, when you talked about the flashback, you're right. It needed to be in there.
I mean, it
I'm
could,
fine
but
with
they
that.
could have cut it and cut some of that substance out to shorten the movie a little bit.
No, I think you need that daughter father thing.
You think it
I
needs
think
to be
you
in
do.
there?
I think you do. I think that one, if they just kept that, right? So you've got his tragic backstory, makes sense. You got their tragic backstory, makes sense. That's all we need. And you know the father and the son where he dies or whatever, that was perfect. They didn't have to go into.
They didn't go into a lot of detail.
It was
about
perfect. It was fine the way it was.
That. All he said was, "I think I needed to hug him more as a kid." Like, I was like,
Yeah.
all right, that's all I needed for that.
Yeah.
It kind of
like,
shows what kind of dad you were.
Then
you
you've
know?
got like, oh, he's gonna die now, and we're gonna go back and forth about her being a pilot, and like, there was so much drama that just didn't need to be there.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I think
that's-
I think taking out the whole "I'm dying from,"
it's a suicide mission. Like,
Yeah,
it
you're
doesn't
like,
even
all right,
have to be a
dude.
suicide
Yeah,
mission. He goes up there,
yeah.
he dies. Oh, that's tragic. But we didn't have to add that extra drama in there. Like, oh, we know he's gonna die. We knew he was gonna die before he went
if they
out
would have
there.
taken away the fact
You
that he
know?
was already dying, it probably would have hit a little harder when he did die.
Yes, thank you.
So, I
Thank
mean-
you.
Yeah.
She knew he was gonna die. Like, it doesn't. I mean, I'm not saying that. You know, it doesn't. It lessens a person's grief when they know.
Right.
Just that.
He went
for
out of the
the
way he wanted
audience.
it to.
Mhm.
For the audience, it's like, okay, well, what's next? Are we gonna have like a cancer kid show up to be the detonators or
A
something?
kid
like,
with
are you-
ass cancer.
Yeah. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, how further
guys
can
went
we
really
make
dark.
these hearts bleed?
I wonder what kind of people listen to our podcast.
Like, these heartless
Damn.
assholes.
Wow.
No,
My
I just-
son had ass cancer.
Really fucking dark.
got a new ass right as rain.
All right. Anyway,
terrible.
let's move on.
Sweet ass trivia with Karen.
There isn't much. Approximately 100 kaijus and 100 Jaegers were designed, but only a fraction of them appeared in the film. Every week, the filmmakers held a vote for their favorites.
I like the crab one.
That was the dumbest one. I like Knifehead.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
He had the coolest name too.
It's the most basic
I
one.
don't care.
The computer is voiced by Ella McLean, who also voiced GLaDOS from the AI from Portal and Portal 2. This, in fact, a cameo by GLaDOS, as Guillermo del Toro was such a fan of the games that he approached the game's developers, Valve, who approved. Del Toro said in an interview for the Toronto Sun, "I wanted very much to have her because I'm a big Portal fan, but just as a wink. She's not..."
Yeah. Sorry, Gavin really loves Portal. He loves the Portal games.
Yeah. Jeremiah was really into them when they came out, so I know enough. She's not cake obsessed. She's not out to destroy humanity. He further explained, "Look, there's no AI I'd rather have than GLaDOS, but McClane's voice in the movie has been modulated a bit to be less similar to the distinctive tone of Portal's unforgettable antagonist. The filter we were using is slightly less GLaDOS, slightly. The one in the trailer, I wanted it to be full-on GLaDOS. The GLaDOS voice itself is inspired by the computer in the 13th floor. The sound for the kaiju's roars were comprised of layer upon layer of animal roars and growls, which were filtered, sped up, and slowed down to create the roar of alien behemoths. Then to add emotion and a sense of intelligence, supervising sound editor Scott Martin Gershin and Guillermo del Toro added samples of their own voices.
It would have been even better if it was like, yeah.
Gypsy Danger is named after the de Havilland Gypsy aircraft engine. This was intended as a nostalgic nod to the World War II era, which was a major influence in the designs of the robots. In Hungary, trailers for the movie couldn't mention the name of the main robot, Gypsy Danger, because it was offensive to the Roma, a large ethnic group in the country. The name is spoken freely in the Hungarian dubbed version, but it's left in English. It's a reference to a type of airplane engine, not the people in question. Guillermo del Toro is a fan of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and he offered Charlie Day a role in this movie in exchange for a cameo in the show.
Did he get the cameo?
Yep. Do you guys know who he is?
No.
I can't believe you didn't spot him.
I would have already spotted him. What was he in?
He's Pappy McPoyle in The Marine Ponderosa Wedding Massacre and McPoyle versus Ponderosa, The Trial of the Century.
Really? I'm going to have to go back. I didn't realize
2016.
it. Ooh, that's awesome.
And
I didn't know that.
It's in my favorite one, The Marine Ponderosa.
Yeah, the Wedding
Fucking
Massacre.
love that
Yeah.
one, when asked why the pilots
And
yell out,
then the trial was awesome too. It was funny too.
when asked why the pilots yell out to one another despite being telepathically linked, Travis Beecham said that doing so helps them to stay focused. In the beginning, before facing the kaiju knifehead, Gypsy Danger performs its neural handshake, and then afterwards slowly puts her hands together like she's praying with elbows out, except her left hand is closed and her right hand is covering it. This is a centuries-old greeting / salutation in martial arts between peers and combatants, and is a sign of mutual respect. The closed fist represents the preparation to fight, and the act of covering the fist is similar to keeping a sword sheathed until combat. This act is also a sign of discipline and restraint from abusing its power, demonstrating it is no threat and has peaceful intentions without provocation. I didn't know that's what that
I didn't either. That's awesome. I always wonder why people did that.
Mm-hmm.
It was like I didn't know that represented a sheath sword.
Yeah, I didn't know either. That's pretty
Cool.
cool. During a Nerd HQ panel in 2013, Robert Kaczynski talks about the fight scene between Chuck and Raleigh in the hallway and how Charlie Hunman broke his nose during that sequence. Kaczynski says the shot where Hunman broke his nose remained in the film, and he also proudly states that he kept standing after it happened. That's it.
All right. Well, there you have it, people. Pacific Rim. I don't know. Should we do the second one, or should we, not do it? I don't
Should,
know.
breeze right past it.
I don't care either way.
I don't care either way either, honestly. It's I don't know. It's more recent than that one. I think it came out in 2017.
I do want to watch it at some point, but
2018 maybe, something like that. It's not super recent, but it's a more recent movie because this one came out in 2013. I think the second one came out in 2016 or 17. I want to say. I'm going to check real quick because I don't want to sound like an idiot.
I think maybe
Because it was whenever John Boyega was doing the Star Wars movies too, because that's how I knew him. So I think that I'm gonna look it up real quick.
okay, while you do that, I'm gonna.
What's in the box? What's in the fucking box?
Came out in 2018, so there's that.
Well, it's fine by me either way.
Yeah, we can put it in
Put it on
there.
the
It's
rolling?
fine. Yeah, fuck it. Yeah, put it on the rolling.
That was a big one.
Big one. That's a big one.
Name of your sex tape.
What is
Once
it?
Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Ooh, it's a Quentin Tarantino movie.
Yeah, I know, I've seen it.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it was just because it's I don't know, so much bigger than the other ones.
Yeah, because I wanted you to pull it.
Oh, excuse me.
It's
I'm
Quentin
pretty sure he
Tarantino.
said that whenever he
Once
was writing
Upon a Time in
things, too.
Hollywood, 2019.
I'm gonna make some of these bigger so
yeah.
she pulls them.
So this is actually Quentin Tarantino's most recent movie.
FX Now and Fubo.
FX Now and Fubo. That's it?
That's
Wow.
where it's streaming.
You can't find it anywhere.
Really? gonna have to buy it. I need to add it anyway to the collection. I think it's one of the only one of his movies that I don't own.
I don't think my opinion's gonna change on it. Honestly.
It might not, but I've always been the type that like Quentin Tarantino movies are all the same to me. They're all, the more I watch them, the more I appreciate them. Every time I watch a Quentin Tarantino movie, I could have seen it 30 times. I could have only seen it once. I have more appreciation. As a matter of fact, you're the one who's like, I was like, I don't want to watch Inglourious Basterds movie looks stupid. You're like, dude, you need to watch the movie. I watched it. I was like, yeah, I didn't care for it. But the second time I went back and watched it, I was like, oh, this movie's actually pretty good. And then I watched it the third time, I was like, this movie's fucking great. And then I watched it again. I'm like, this fucking movie is amazing. And like every time I watch one of his movies, I'm like, I find a more appreciation for it.
I'll reserve judgment, obviously, but the only problem that I had with it the first time I watched it was the ending.
The fact that they change history.
No, I don't have a problem with that.
Okay, well, I have to discuss it next week. But yeah, we'll talk about it next week.
Yeah.
Yep.
Once Upon a Time in not in Mexico. That's Robert Rodriguez. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
El Camino. That's the part I remember about that movie.
Oh, yeah.
El Camino.
Guys, it is so cold down here.
Yeah. So next week, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Check us out on them socials.
No, that was the Mexican.
I'm not doing it yet.
Are you telling them to sit and spin? That's usually what that means.
Yeah, that's
Sit and
usually what
spin.
that means.
Sorry, not you guys. Him.
Man, what'd you do to them?
Yeah, what'd you do?
Not a
Right,
damn
yeah,
fucking
homosexual.
thing.
Sit and
I'm about to-
spin.
About to do something?
That's
I'll
a new
do something.
gesture. It's a new gesture.
He's gonna walk up to the camera and just lay it on his back.
All right, next week, check us out on the socials and be here for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. We will see you then. That was a rainbow.
Yeah,
The
because
more
that's
you
what
know.
you are.
The more you know.
No, that's
It's like,
just
no, it's
what...
reading rainbow.
Oh,
Remember, he's in his little closet, the transparent closet. He's just
Translucent.
trying to like
Translucent.
shine a light so he can get our attention.
Translucent,
and we
bitch.
can open the door.
It's already
Can I
open.
not
Translucent bitch.
speak?
Translucent.
It's already open. He's got a
bitch.
foot out, okay?
My bad.
All right, next week we'll see you guys.
Goodbye.
See you, bye.
Bye.